to the cloud. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Melissa Andre. I'm the Executive Director of the Tax Review Board. And today we are starting our 2023 session of the Tax Review Board. Today is Tuesday, January 10th of 2023, and we have water revenue. We have a full docket. For everyone's purview, our case list will operate case number 2, 4, 1, 6, 3, and 5. So please be aware that this is a public hearing and it is being recorded. Because the meeting is public, participants and viewers have no expectation of privacy. And by continuing to be in this meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. I will go and put case number 2 into the room. And then Nancy, I think at that point you can take it away. Okay?
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a seat. Good luck.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. We're starting with case number 2 for Diane Burdine. Last 4 digits of the docket are 1660. Property address is 5755 Drexel Road. Please identify yourself for the record.
Diane Burdine.
Okay, you need to move closer to the computer where the microphone is and be sure and speak up because I could barely hear your voice.
Diane Burdine.
Thank you. That's much better. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Who has this matter for the city?
Good afternoon, Adriana Gonzalez on behalf of the city.
Do you have anyone with you who needs to be identified and sworn?
Yes, Ms. Hike from the Water Revenue Bureau.
Please identify yourself for the record.
Taliba Hike, I'm from Water Revenue Bureau, the adjudications unit.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Does the city have any opening comments, starting with the identification of the numbers for the record?
No, we would like to hear from the petitioner.
Okay, you don't even want the numbers on the record?
Oh, yes, I would like numbers on the record. I thought you said
Okay.
in addition to.
Okay.
I wasn't sure there for a moment.
Okay, the petitioner is questioning February 24th, 2015 through December 5th, 2017. Principal amount of $951.24. There's $0 in penalties and $0 in liens, totaling $951.24.
That was $961.24.
951 means.
I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, yes, 951, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you. Okay. Then I guess we should be turning to the petitioner. Please tell us why you're here and what it is you're looking for from this board. And again, please try to stay as close as you can to that mic so that we can all hear you.
I'm here disputing these charges because the city of Philadelphia installed a defective meter in my home. And they tried to get an accurate reading from a defective meter. And I don't understand how that can be done. So I'm disputing the charges, how you can get something incorruptible from something that's corrupt.
In what way was the meter defective, or how did you determine that it was defective?
It was defective when the Philadelphia Water Department's worker came to my home and told me that it was defective.
How long after it was installed was this identified as defective by the city?
Years.
1, 2, 10?
I'll say about, I don't know, let me see, maybe last year they came and installed a one that they say is not defective. So last year would be 2022.
But how long before that was the so-called defective meter installed? That's what I'm trying to understand.
I guess, I don't know, maybe 2000, I don't know, 10, maybe 2010, 11.
Were you there when that meter was installed?
Absolutely. That's the only way they could get in the house.
So the question then is, what years are you disputing?
I'm disputing the years that involve the $951.
Okay, so that doesn't start until February 24th, 2015.
Okay, well, the meter is the issue.
Okay, so let's hear from the city, Nancy, I guess, with
Right,
dates,
okay.
times, and, you know.
Thank you. Let's turn to the city.
Good afternoon, Ms. Hike. Have you had an opportunity to review this water customer's account?
Yes,
What type of property is this?
it's a residential property.
And who is the owner of the property?
Diane Burdine.
How do you know?
The deed indicates the purchase date. And the deed indicates that she's the owner of the property.
What charges appeared on this customer's bill for the period in question?
Storm water and surface.
And did technicians go out to the property around this time?
Yes,
When?
they went out to the property on February 24th, 2015, as well as December 5th, 2017.
And why did they do that?
Zero usage.
What did they do, or rather, what did they find when they went to the property?
The meter was frozen.
And what was the result?
The meter in the ERT was changed on February 24th, 2015. But the equipment continued to bill zero usage. So they came back and to check the equipment again on December 5th, 2017. Then they replaced the ERT only on that visit.
Okay. And after the ERT was changed in 2017, were any adjustments made to the account?
Yes.
Why?
The property was billed based on the final read that they were able to obtain when they changed the ERT in 2017.
And was that adjustment, was that actual usage that it was reflecting?
Yes,
And how many months was the property rebilled for that actual usage?
33 months.
33 months.
Yes.
Okay. That's how long the rebilling covered.
Yes, 33 months.
Okay. And approximately how much per month does that come out to?
3.93 CCFs per month.
And is that in line with the other actual readings on the account?
It's actually lower.
Did the petitioner reach out to the Water Revenue Bureau during the period in question regarding her bill?
Yes.
When?
February 17, March 17, 2015, and November 28th, 2017.
Could you show us those notes could you share your screen and show us those notes, please?
Yeah, I believe they were to request bills, 2000, March 17.
So I guess while you're pulling it up, in both instances, those were to request copies of bills.
Yes,
And those bills, would they indicate that no water was being used?
yes. This one is March 17, 2015, the call. This was Ms. Burdine on the line, and she asked why didn't she receive a bill? The ERT was replaced. This was regarding the next bill that was to be coming out shortly after this call. The next bill came out March 30th, 2015. She called on March 17, 2015. That's the first call. The second call is November 28, 2017. Let me see. This was a visit. This was an office visit. It seems that she was in the office with the letter from PWD to check the meter, and they advised her to call to set up an appointment.
Okay. And did she call at all to request any reprints of bills in 2016?
No. Yeah, yes. There was a duplicate, there was a bill, February 16, 2016, yes.
And during this time, is there any indication that the property was vacant?
Yes.
The property was vacant?
Well. let's see. I can check the bill. Was it December? December 2016, right?
Sure,
Yeah, it's a service and stormwater charge.
right.
So the bill doesn't indicate any, reflect any water usage.
Okay. I have no further questions for Ms. Hike. If I may, I understand that this is a little bit out of order. I have a few questions for the petitioner.
Please go ahead.
Ms. Burdine, thank you. I'm sorry for mispronouncing it. How many people lived in the property from 2017 through 2015 through 2017?
One,
One person? And was that you?
yes,
Did you have water service during that time?
absolutely,
And are you the person that pays the water bill at your property?
yes.
And do you read your bills every month?
Yes, I pay them every month, yes.
And you look at them?
Well, I don't understand everything, no.
So when your bill dropped significantly in 2015, did you notice?
No. It was only one person in the house, that's me. So, and the home was never vacant. I don't know where she's getting all these phone calls and the place was vacant. It sounds like a bunch of, I don't know, clicking all over the screen and not sure. She doesn't seem to have her information current, or it just seems like all over the place. And my meter, it was defective. It was installed by the water department. It wasn't any kind of special hookup that people know how to do with these gas lines and water lines. It was the water department who installed the defective meter. It was the water department who discovered the defective meter, and it was the water department who installed the new one. So I don't know about all of these phone calls that I made and this and that, and the house was vacant. I don't know anything about, the house was never vacant. I've been in that house for 36 years this month. On record, 37 years. A resident of 37 years on record.
Ms. Hyde, can I jump in, Ms. Gonzalez?
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Nancy. Ms. Hyde, you testified that in 2015, both the meter and the ERT were changed. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yes, the meter was frozen.
yes,
Okay. And then in 2017, when there were still no readings, the ERT was changed because the ERT was not working. Is that
yes,
correct?
yes, because the ERT was
Not
not able to still pick up usage.
But there
Following
was usage on the new meter that had been installed in 2015. Is that correct?
No. In
No.
2015, let me see. No, reading the-
Actually, in 2017, when they changed the
17,
ERT.
yes, if the usage wasn't picked up until 17.
Right.
Mhm.
And now, so in 2015, if the meter itself was frozen, can you explain how they would have gotten a reading that was accurate from that meter?
They did not, the reading was obtained in 17. The reading was not obtained in 2015.
Okay. So
Or
the
16?
There was no usage picked up until November 28th, 2017.
But I guess what they're trying to ask, what I'm trying to ascertain is it was frozen and didn't work. And now in the 17, we trust that reading after 2 years of not working properly?
I believe that this has been confused. If I could summarize
I'm
what,
very confused.
Please help us understand what transpiring during that time period.
so in 2015, both meter and ERT were replaced. The ERT the signal was not getting picked up. The meter, a brand new meter to that property, was functioning normally. And when 2017, after alerting Ms. Burdine to the zero usage, the city was allowed into the property to get a final read on that meter and to replace the ERT.
And that was 2017.
That is correct. So the meter is functioning, that meter is still in the property and is still, we are receiving actual reads.
In 15 and 16, the meter was there and functioning, but it wasn't transmitting the information?
Exactly,
Correct.
So,
So it
so
was
the bill that,
accumulating the data, but not passing it forward,
but not
if I'm
transmitting it.
understanding correctly.
Yes.
so the bill that she got for the $900 and something dollars was essentially a back bill for the times when they wasn't calculating, it was zero usage.
For the times when the readings were not being transmitted to the water department, correct?
And that would be a period of
When-
2 years?
Approximately, I believe my witness testified to that it was 33 months.
Okay,
33 and a third months according to the account history.
Yes.
So what are so we have an account history that has usage showing for every month. I guess 14, or that's not the time period. So, okay, so we're looking at usage, I lost it, as of 12/5/17 for 33 and a third months
Yes,
of 387. And that is actual usage based on an actual meter reading.
yes,
I'm ready to go.
and that's
take-
basically the time from 15 and 16. I mean, the amounts from 15 and 16 total together.
Yes, that is correct.
17 parts, that's part of 17.
17.
So Ryan, you're ready to go back?
I'm
if
ready
I-
to go back.
I'm fine.
Wait, I think the city would like to just put a couple things, and then we should just ask Ms. Burdine if she wants to say anything else.
Yes.
Basically, we're about to step aside to make a decision, but we want to give both the city and the petitioner an opportunity for any final comments if they have them.
Yes, so this is a simple case where ERT was not reading. The reading that was obtained and that Ms. Burdine was billed for in 2017 was for actual usage that occurred at the property. You heard Ms. Burdine testify that she lived in the property, that at all times there was water service, and that she was receiving the bills. And from the Water Revenue Bureau's records that we showed on the screen, she called and inquired about her bill at least twice. So that would indicate that Ms. Burdine was aware of the bill, examining her bills, and it is unlikely to have entirely been missed that there was no longer usage charges on those bills.
That wasn't her fault. If the ERT's not, I mean, she obviously tried her best to contact the department.
There
I'm
was,
ready-
I mean, I just want to put that out on the record.
But I guess really the question that I have for our petitioner is how long did you go in that time period from 2/24/15 before you noticed that there weren't any bills reflecting the usage charge?
I am I keep very meticulous records, and my bills are always paid on time.
Did you look at whether you had usage charges there?
I mean, usage charges, really, I never really even knew what a usage charge was.
Oh, okay. So you might not have had usage charges there, but thought that you
I
had
don't
everything
know.
on your bill.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I pay the bills that come in. That's how I pay my bills. Every bill that comes in, I pay. I've been on that property for 36 years. It was never vacant in 36 years. I pay the bill, been paying the bills for 36 years. The water department, I don't know about no replacing an ERT. I don't know what frozen means. I don't know what ERT means. All I know is to pay the bill. That's all I know.
Okay.
And I know they came in and I remember when they installed a meter that was defective. I didn't know it was defective. And then last year, it was just last year, I'm sure it was last year, when they came and told me last year that it was defective. And they installed a new one. That's when now, like the whole city is getting new meters. That's what
You
I
just
got.
told us that was in 2017, not last year.
Well, last year they put a new meter in again, another one.
All
Does
right.
the-
I don't know what's, I don't know what's
That's
going
outside
on.
the time period we're looking at. So,
They're all over the place. Last year, right now, I'm watching this water department install meters like throughout the whole city. So last year they came, the guy told me it was defective again. So he installed another one last year.
Okay, last year, the city started a program to replace every meter, so that wouldn't necessarily have equated to a problem with your particular situation.
Well, the bottom line, my bottom line is that the meter was corrupt.
Okay, did you notice a decrease in the amount of your bills? You said you looked at them every month and paid what was on them. Did you notice that they were lower for a period of time?
No, I mean, I know I'm the only one in there and I know I was part of.
That's not my question. My question is, did you notice that there was a lower charge on the bills than there had been a month or two before?
No, I didn't. I mean, we're
Okay.
talking, first of all, we're talking years ago. I don't remember what happened 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
At this point,
All right. Do you have anything to add before we consider our decision?
I just hope that you are fair about things. And I mean, like I said, how can you get something that's incorruptible from something that's corrupt? I mean, you're installing something.
We're not looking at corruption. We're looking at
No,
what
I'm
the
talking about
numbers.
the meter. I'm talking about the meter was corrupt. It was defective. It's defective. And they're trying to, you know, create a perfect bill out of something that's defective. The guy told me it was defective. They installed, I didn't install it, they installed it.
We understand what you heard about that. Okay,
That's
unless
all
there's
I
something
had.
else, we're going to step aside.
Okay, thank you.
If everyone can just stay right where you are, the board is gonna go into a virtual breakout room. Nancy, wait, everyone is back.
Okay, thank you. The board has reached a decision. It's our decision to reduce the usage charge based on 200 cubic feet per month for that time period from 2/24/15 to 12/5/17, and ask for payment arrangements to be made within 30 days. Basically, what will happen, you'll get a letter from us that spells out our decision. Both sides do have the right to appeal to the Court of Common Pleas within 30 days of the date of our decision. Let's say for the moment that neither side chooses to appeal, then by the end of that 30-day period, the petitioner should meet with the Water Revenue Bureau to enter into payment arrangements. Any questions? And let's get a
Ryan
concurrence
Boy,
from
I
the-
concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur.
Nancy Kammerviner, I concur. Yeah, I wanted to make sure we got that in there. Thank you. Okay, any questions? Hearing none, this is the end of our discussion on case number 4. Excuse me, case number 2. Case number 4 will be escorted to the room as soon as that arrangement can be made.
I guess.
Okay, I can explain it. if
Okay.
you don't understand.
Thank you very much for coming in.
This is case number 4, Calvin Carrington. 1 second.
Okay,
Carrington, come on in, have a seat. Right in front of the monitor, camera. Thank you.
good afternoon. This is case number 4 for Calvin Carrington, last 4 digits of the docket 1810. The property address is 2036 Montrose Street. Please identify yourself for the record.
My name is Calvin Carrington.
Okay, can barely hear you. 2 things. If you could be close to the microphone, which is at the computer right in front of you, and if you're comfortable being without your mask, we would ask you to do that because we can hear you more clearly if you don't have the mask on. We'll understand if you're not comfortable being without it. Okay. If you would introduce yourself again, and then once you get situated.
Hey, my name is Calvin Carrington.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
Yes, I swear. Yes.
Thank you. Who has this matter for the city?
Good afternoon, Adriana Gonzalez on behalf of the city.
And do you have anyone with you who needs to be sworn?
No new individuals, just Ms. Height.
Okay, then let's turn to Ms. Hike. Would you give us the numbers for the record?
Yes, the petitioner is questioning August 12th, 2017 through January 17th, 2019, principal amount of $304.78. There is $14.36 in penalties, $0 in liens, totaling $319.14.
319, and what was the change?
14 cents.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. Does the city have anything else to provide before we turn to the petitioner?
No,
Okay, all right. Mr. Carrington, would please tell us why you're here and what it is you're looking for from this board?
First of all, let me say that there was a mix-up with my phone hearing, and I thought they were rescheduling the same initial hearing over again. I didn't know I was here for the board.
What, I'm not sure I understand about a phone hearing. Did you have a previous hearing before today?
Yes, I had a phone hearing, and then they sent me a letter with a decision saying that I didn't attend the phone hearing. So they went on to put in a decision. And I told them I could show them on my phone where I did attend the phone hearing. And I thought they were just rescheduling the initial hearing all over again.
Was that phone hearing with one person, the master?
No, it was with at least two people.
Okay, because if there's a master's hearing that you have a question about or protest in any way, then it would be set up for a full hearing with the board. And we do those hearings now part virtual and part with people coming into the offices.
If I could provide some clarity, Mr. Carrington had a hearing scheduled before the board because he appealed his master level decision. It
Oh,
was a
okay.
phone hearing. I have a note that I called 2 times or 1 or 2 times and was unable to reach him. So we rescheduled this case because afterwards he contacted me and explained the situation that he didn't get my phone call. So this is a reschedule of a case where he was
Okay.
denied, but he had wanted a phone hearing.
Okay, so Mr. Carrington, you're here today. This is your opportunity. Tell us exactly what you're looking for with regard to your water bill.
Well, the water bill, I paid my water bill every month. But every month that they came up with that 2 CCF charge, those are the charges I was disputing. And nobody has ever told me, and the only remedy they offered me was, they said that if you think your water meter is not working correctly, we can have the water department send somebody out to check the meter. And if they say that it's running correctly, then I have to pay a cost for them having to come out and check it. And I think that's absolutely ridiculous, because all they're saying to me is, they said this to me before, that a machine cannot make a mistake. And I don't understand.
Mr. Carrington, why do you think that the bill is too high? Why, this is 2 cubic feet per month is what your meter is registering.
Not registering that per month. Mine is usually 95% of the time is 1 CCF. And then when it jumps up like that, because I live in that house by myself, and I don't use no whole lot of water. So I don't
Have you had
know.
any leaks? Have you had a plumber in recently to do any?
I
repairs?
haven't had any leaks or anything. And I really don't know how they figure out this water bill. I'm thinking that that second CCF is actually, say I use 10 gallons of water, and then I get the 10 gallons of 1 ounce, and then it goes up to 2 CCF. I mean, and that's just my best guess, because I
But
don't
you
think
need to
that
provide
they
us
think-
with more than a guess. And that, I don't believe that is how they assess the water bill. But if you think that there's a problem, you need to give us some evidence or some information as to why
Right.
that would be the case.
Well, how do they assess the water bill then?
That whatever goes through the meter and they get the water meter reading and pass that on electronically to the Water Revenue Bureau for the billing.
Is it measured by exactly how much water is being used? Because I got so many bills for exactly the same amount of money. And I know I'm not using exactly the same amount of water.
Why don't we turn to the Water Revenue Bureau and let them do some explaining?
Okay, yeah. If you would give us your side of the situation, please.
Sure. Ms. Hike, have you had an opportunity to review this water customer's account?
Yes,
What type of property is this?
it's a residential property.
And who is the owner of the property?
Mr. Calvin Carrington,
How do you know?
the deed provides us with this information.
What charges appeared on this customer's bill for the period in question?
Usage, service, and stormwater charges?
And are all of the usage charges actual?
Yes,
And can you tell us what actual means?
it means that the waters that's registering, that's coming through the meter is being read, they're able to obtain an actual meter reading with from the Encarta transmitter receiver outside of the property. to the technicians, and then they're going forward, they provide that reading to Water Revenue Bureau so that we can bill the customer.
And in the context of this account, is 2 CCFs, is that in line with the other readings on the account?
Yes. It
And
is.
have technicians gone out to the property around this time?
No,
Why not?
his equipment is complete and they didn't find, there's nothing wrong. There's no explanation for them, no reason for them to go out to visit the property. He didn't call to request a meter shop visit or for them, for them to come out and check the equipment.
So is there anything, any indication on this account that the water that we're registering is not actually what is passing through the meter?
No, it appears to be actual water usage. There's no customer contact history. I don't have any other explanation.
And in general, from your experience, is it normal for even a property with one person in it for the usage to fluctuate throughout the year?
Yes.
Anything else?
No, I have nothing further other than to reiterate that this is the petitioner's appeal and there's their burden to prove that the water revenues assessment is incorrect.
Mr. Carrington, do you have anything to add before the board steps aside to reach a decision?
Yes, I still don't understand how the water is measured. All they're saying is that it's measured by the amount of water that's run through the meter, and that's the actual reading. And when you asked about a normal water bill, my normal water bill for as long as I can remember is normally, like I said, 95% or more of the time is for 1 CCF. And you still haven't told me how the water is measured. All you saying is that it goes through the meter and they get the reading when they ride by on the truck outside on the street. That's not an explanation.
The meter calculates the number of cubic feet of
That go
water
through
that runs right through it. And then that's electronically transmitted, that
And-
number.
That
You want-
information.
You go
That's
down
why
and
I
look
said-
at your meter. If you have it turn on a faucet and go downstairs and look at your meter, you'll see that it starts to register as water is going through the pipe that leads through the meter.
Okay, when it goes from 1 cubic foot, once it hits 1 cubic foot, okay, then what happens? Because that's when the price jumps a couple of dollars. And then that bill, and then the bill that they sent me, I'm waiting for a hearing and they're adding interest.
Well, this is your hearing.
Yeah, but I'm saying all the time that I waited to have a hearing, they still charge me more interest on something I objected.
Well-
Okay,
to.
now
Well, sir, that's something that we could take care of when we go to
right,
the back.
we can take the interest off.
Nancy, let's go to the back because we have a lot more cases.
And then,
Right.
well, what's the principle?
$319 and
How the principal get that high? Because I paid my bill every month, except for when I got a bill for 2 CCFs, and it was only like $2 or $3 more that I didn't pay. So how did I get the 314 or $4?
I think it is because it's been since 2017, sir. It's not just one charge of 200 CCFs.
It's not just one, but if they're only for a couple of dollars, there's no way for it to be 304.
Well, how about this? Taliba, can you maybe check out how it got to $304, and then the board is gonna go in the back and make its determination?
Okay.
Okay. Everyone can just hold tight, please.
I mean, this is 2 years. I'm gonna go into the dispute to get the months in which we have under dispute, which is the months of August the 12th, 2017 through January 17, 2019. That's why it's that amount, and that includes the penalties as well. This is more than 1 month. This is 18, this is 2 years.
It was it 2 CCS for 2 years?
We're questioning, we placed a 2-year period in the dispute for you, sir. And if you allow them to, they can go back and decide as to whether or not, if they'll allow you, if they'll make any changes in the amount of usage that has been obtained. But on the record, your usage fluctuates from 100 to 200 cubic feet per month. The $319.14 accounts for the 2-year period, sir. It's not just 1 month, okay?
Also, are you making a payment every single month?
I made a water bill payment every month. And most of them have been for 1 CCS. Now, I don't know how in the world this thing got to $300. Even if you charge penalties and interest.
Well, we don't charge interest, but Ms. Hike, are you seeing a payment every single month for the period in question? Or for all periods?
I'm going to go back to 2017, August.
Now, I may have made a late payment, but I paid for each month.
Okay,
Okay,
On
when you make payments
September-
late, there's also penalty.
it's 18 or 17, 17, 17. Hold on, I'm on this here.
All right, Nancy, everyone is back.
Okay, thank you. The board's reached a decision. It's our decision to abate the penalty, which I believe was $14.36 that was read into the record. And ask for payment arrangements to be made within 30 days. Basically, what happens is you'll get a letter from us that spells out our decision. You have the right to appeal, as does the city, to the Court of Common Pleas within 30 days of the date of our letter. I'm going to assume for the moment that neither side's going to choose to appeal. And if that becomes the case, then at the end of that 30-day period, you should enter into conversation with the Water Revenue Bureau to get a new dollar amount and enter into a payment arrangement for whatever it is you owe as a result of any withholding of payments over the time that you were waiting for our hearing. If I could get the board to concur.
Boy, I concur.
Always, I concur.
I didn't
And
see
Nancy
anybody,
Kennedy.
I didn't see anybody go anywhere. And I
Well, you can talk to the Water Revenue Bureau about the charges and how they're set up. We can't really handle that in this forum, beyond what we've already tried to do. Thank you for coming in today. I understand the next item on our agenda is case number 1, and they'll be coming into the room in a moment.
Thank you.
If you would take your seats, please. And be as close to the computer as you can so that we can hear your voices when it's time for you to talk. Please identify yourselves for the record.
I'm Julia Coulibaly.
I'm Bart Levy, attorney for Coulibaly.
Okay. Ms. Rukabali, please, we need to swear you in. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
I stand affirmed.
Okay, thank you. And again, if you'd stay as close as you can to the mic when it's time for you to talk so that we can all be sure to hear you. Who has this matter from the city?
Adriana Gonzalez on behalf of the city.
And you have someone with you who will be providing information, is that correct?
Yes, Ms. Hike.
Okay, Ms. Hyde, please, excuse me, please identify yourself for the record.
My name is Taliba Hike. I'm with Water Revenue Bureau's Adjudications Unit.
Okay, and she was sworn in earlier. Please give us the information about this case from the city's perspective in terms of the numbers.
Okay, the petitioner is questioning October 6, 2008 to June 16, 2011, and December 17, 2015 to November 17, 2020. Principal amount of $15,221.31. There's $4,688.78 in penalties, as well as $434.34 in liens, totaling $20,344.44.
Okay, thank you. Does the city have anything else they want to put on the record before we ask for the petitioner to provide testimony?
No, the city would like to hear from the petitioner first.
Okay, fine, thank you. And if we could hear from the petitioner or the petitioner's counsel, whoever's going to be speaking and presenting the case.
Totally.
Okay, how y'all doing again? Well, the property is my investment property. And it was a squatter that was living in 5818 who broke in my property and attached pipes to my property and ran water to their property. That was going on for years that I didn't know. I discovered the pipes years later.
When do you believe it started?
Well, when I discovered the pipes was like in 2015. Oh, yes. So around 2015. And then this year, well, last year in 22, a new person purchased that property and was not able to get water into the property. And because I cut off the lines that was going in there from my property, and they had to hire a contractor to go through the ground. The contractor discovered there was no pipes going into 5018 property. So the whole time the water bill was, I guess, shared billed or to the two properties, sorry.
I guess what my client is saying is that
Could you get a little closer to the mic, please?
certainly that someone around the beginning of October 2015, I guess somehow put a T-splitter in her house, cut a hole in her wall, ran piping, which we have photographs of, from her place into their place, and thereby was stealing water from us.
Can I ask a question? Did you ever get a water bill from 2015 after they did it? Did you notice a spike in your water bill?
I did, and that's what made me come to the water department. And the water department stated that it was impossible for anyone to steal the water. But no one never would come to the property, and I asked many occasions.
Did
So
you
when
ever
did you-
go to the
when did you-
property?
I'm sorry, which,
I guess we collided with each other. I'm sorry. Did you ever go to the property? Did you visit it and check to see whether there was anything happening in the area of the property where the meter was?
is that addressed to us or to the department?
To the petitioner, and if you're answering on her behalf, that would be a possibility as well.
Did you go there? Yes, we took photographs of it.
Okay, we don't know
And
that.
what year, hold on. And what year did you take the
Brian.
photographs?
2015.
So that's when you went to the water department in 2015.
Okay. I've been going back and forth.
Did you ever get a plumber?
I did get a plumber, and he told me to go to the water department because he didn't want to touch it because of the way it was hooked up. And once again, I asked the water department to come. They wouldn't come. I called L&I. L&I said it wasn't their problem. They wouldn't come. So I was like stuck. That's when I searched and found Mr. Levy and hired him. And then we've been trying to come to here for a hearing for a few years.
Can I ask a threshold question? Sorry, Mr. Levy, did your client say, and maybe I misheard, that the property was sold, that she doesn't own the property anymore?
No, I did not say that.
I'm sorry, so you still own the property that we're talking about?
Right,
Yes.
I stated it was a new purchaser for the property.
Next door, 18.
Sure.
The-
Okay,
the-
thank you.
Our
I have another
property is-
preliminary question. We jumped right to 2015, but the city read out an earlier period of 08 through 11. Is that a separate issue, or is that no longer at issue?
Well, it obviously, this issue must was going on the whole time. It was discovered in 2015 because the new owners, they couldn't get water into the property. So however long it was.
When you're
going
saying
on-
new owners, you're talking about the owner of the property that they were siphoning the water to.
Right. right, the 58.
You've got to keep that straight because we'll get them mixed up if you.
Okay, sorry.
When did you purchase the property?
2009.
What about these dates from 08 to 11 then that were read into the record? Did you assume outstanding debts for that property when you purchased it, if you bought it in 09?
Right, I wasn't aware that the water bill was as is, because I did a quick deed purchase, and I was just paying the taxes and wasn't unaware. And the property was a fixer-upper. when I
Madam
purchased.
Chairwoman,
Yes.
if I may point out, there doesn't appear to be any appreciable use.
Is the property still currently vacant?
Yes, it is. It's my property is vacant.
All right, so is that all the information that you really want to present? That that the neighbors were stealing the water?
Yes.
Do not have to show.
Why don't we move over to the city's side?
Not yet.
I would agree. Let's move over to the city's presentation,
I have a couple of questions for the petitioner, if I may.
please.
Has the property, from when you purchased it to present, was the property ever occupied?
At one time,
For about how long?
for about 3-4 years.
And did you have a rental license? Was
I
it
did.
rented?
It was.
Okay. And would it sound right if I said the rental license ran from 2010 to 2018?
It probably did, if it went that long, but it wasn't in use.
Okay. But you did have occupants at the property
I-
during the period in question.
Right.
And did they have water service at that time?
No.
Your renters never had water service?
Oh, yeah, they had water services. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not asking about the property next door. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay.
Those are all the questions that I have for Ms. Colably. I'm now turning
Do you have
to,
things for your witness?
yes. Pardon me.
I have nothing further.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for clarifying that.
Ms. Hike, have you had an opportunity?
Oh, wait, my client had something to add?
Okay, I remember, 5818 had a water emergency. I believe it was in 15 or 16. And, the people who were living in there, they had to move out the property because the city had put a sticker on the door. And that's around the time when that got that big hike in the water bill. When they moved the people out of that property.
Do you know the nature of the emergency?
I didn't, but I do remember that sticker and I do remember.
Okay, let's turn to the city, and if you think of anything else you want to add, you can put in a final comment before we step aside to make a decision. But let's hear from the city.
Have you had an opportunity to review this customer's account, Ms. Hike?
Yes,
And what type of property is this?
it's a residential property.
And who's the owner of this property?
Miss Julia Sproul Colabale,
How do you know?
the deed indicates this information.
What charges appeared on the customer's bills for the period in question?
Water usage service and stormwater,
Are those charges actual or estimated?
actual.
And did technicians go out to the property around this time?
No,
Okay. Based on your review of the account, was the property occupied during the period in question?
yes.
And how do you know?
Can you speak up a little bit more?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, the property was occupied and we have tenant calls. Tenant called the December 10th, 2018. An occupant to get the tenant occupant requirements so that they can become a customer. And then someone called again on March 6, 2018. I can bring the calls up if you like.
Okay. Have any accounting adjustments been made to this account for the period in question? Any debit adjustments, rebillings, or anything of that nature?
No,
Is the entire balance that is accrued due to non-payment?
Yes.
When was the last time the petitioner made a payment on this water sewer bill?
April 5th, 2022. But prior to that, it was January 26th, 2022.
Say that again?
January 6th.
January 26th, I'm sorry. Yes,
Of what year?
2022. Let's see.
So the last payment the most recent payment you said was in April?
Yes, April 5th.
And when a property owner rents a property out and tenants or other people, occupants use water, who's responsible for the bill?
It's the owner's responsibility to pay the water bill.
I have nothing further for Ms. Height.
If I may.
Any board members have questions of the city?
Ms. Gonzalez, are you going to provide the account history for us to see what the usage looks like?
Sure, though I do have a legal argument based on what the petitioner has presented here today and their petition and their reason for being here. If you'd like for me to make that now, I can, but I can preserve it until after everyone's
I
done.
have questions of the witness.
You have a question of the witness? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, okay, let's take that and then go back to the city for anything that they have as a follow-up.
So one more time, you believe that 5820 was occupied?
We have calls from individuals requesting tenant application requirements.
Did they get an account in their name for that call?
No, the information was not submitted.
Did you get a copy of a lease?
It was a call. We weren't able to obtain any documents through the call.
So it's your testimony that based on a phone call like that, you can draw a conclusion that the place was occupied. That's your testimony?
Well, based on the usage, it appears that someone was in the property and that the owner herself admitted that someone was in the property. She called the record that we have a call that the owner called in telling us that she had people in the property, that there were squatters in the property after the fact.
Right. Was she referring to 5820, 5818, or don't you know?
5820.
Someone broke into 20.
I called
Thank
the
you.
police. So many times, baby.
If you were trying to put something on the record, I could see your mouth moving, but I couldn't hear anything over the microphone. Were you trying to make testimony on the record?
Are you speaking to me?
No, I was talking to the petitioner.
I think she was just saying something to her attorney, Nancy.
We have
Okay.
no further questions.
Okay, okay. Let's see, where are we at this point then?
Ms. Gonzalez for her legal argument?
So the issue presented by the petitioner is one that is not to be recouped from the City of Philadelphia Water Revenue Bureau. This is very clearly an issue of, as the petitioner frames it herself, of theft that would be a matter for license and inspections or for the police or for a civil suit. But the city cannot be held responsible for the illegal acts by third parties. And for that reason, I would ask this petition be denied.
If I may raise this legal argument in response, my client contacted the city and the city sent, as they admitted, sent no site inspector. The city never laid eyes on this and doesn't know what happened to its own equipment. Therefore, I believe that they have to share the blame in this. It's one thing for us to have somebody break in, but essentially the city's water was pouring through an illegal cut in our line. What if the water had basically been just pouring out freely into our basement or the neighbor's basement? Wouldn't that have been the water department's concern? My belief is when the water department is told that there's a breach in the service connection, which is what my client reported, it's their duty to inspect it. We might be responsible for the first couple of days of it, but if the city neglected to come out after hearing my client's repeated complaints from 2015 on, I believe it's partially on the city. Thank you.
Mr. Levy, is there any documentation that your client or you have to show the communications?
Yeah, we uploaded it to your office a few moments ago.
When did you do that?
In reception in Office of Administrative Review's office. down-
So you, but you did that when you came in today?
Yeah.
Actually, the original one was, that one was from 21. Let me look.
Everything we supplied today,
This
she's
is over a
saying
year.
she brought in at least a year ago. And
Okay.
possibly before that.
Yeah, but way before that. 16,
If I may have a brief
17.
opportunity to respond to Mr. Levy's allegations or Mr. Levy's argument.
Sure.
Please.
Thanks, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you. Again, it is not the city's responsibility to maintain the plumbing of a home. Because if in fact this theft was occurring and it's being registered by the Water Revenue Bureau, it is happening beyond the meter. This regulations state that the city is responsible for the connections up to the curb stop, and that property owners are responsible for everything beyond. This is clearly beyond the curb stop. This is clearly not a situation of the city refusing or being negligent in securing a meter or equipment. There's been no allegation that the equipment the city provided, the meter, the ERT, was defective or had been tampered with or anything to that effect. We have no, again.
So Ms. Gonzalez, if
Yes.
petitioner has made an effort through the years to notify the city that there is theft on her water service and that she needs assistance, and the city has failed to act, does the city have any responsibility? Or when a taxpayer finds theft on the line, assuming that those are the facts and evidence right here, what are the city's obligations at that point?
This is a matter for the police or for the small claims courts. The city would not come in and adjust plumbing beyond the meter. That's not the water department's
if-
responsibility.
If someone
would
came
be-
in and made those allegations, would the city representative in water revenue or whatever adjacent organization was involved, would they tell the petitioner or the person who was raising the issue where to go or what to do?
Yes,
correct
this
this?
petitioner, if I may, and I can share the screen, and this way may not have been I can add this to the record through my witness if you like, or I can share my screen. The petitioner was told at least one time that they needed to contact the police. This
You
is
do have some record of that transaction or situation taking place?
I thought I had sent the police report to my attorney, but I would have to look it back up. But I did make everything they told me to do. I did try. And the police told me it wasn't their matter as well.
If I could point out, small claims court has no equitable powers to basically change the service or require anything be done of another property in Philadelphia. She'd have had to get a restraining order.
She had to get, what was the last word?
I can't imagine any equitable relief that could get the property fixed other than injunctive relief at common pleas level. Small claims court has no equitable powers to force the city to do anything or the property owner.
Okay.
even at this point, it is not the city's place to go out and re-plumb a home.
There's been
These are-
testimony that there was no feral to 5018. Does anyone know whether there's was a feral in 2015 going from the street into the neighbor's house?
No one would have looked at that, Mr. Levy, because we didn't.
Okay,
until
And it's
today.
also
We didn't
irrelevant.
know until today that 5018 was at issue. It seems to me there are documents that the board needs to review that Mr. Levy has provided.
The city would also like to see those documents. It's possible that they were provided to a previous attorney, but I do not have those documents today.
Okay, from what I understand, the petitioner emailed my office manager and she's emailing them to me. And so I will, of course, forward them to you and to the rest of the board. I think that the board should just go back and discuss what should happen, probably holding this under advisement for either further questions or just to review the documentation. And any additional briefs that both parties wish to submit regarding this specific issue.
Let's talk for a minute.
Okay.
Is that your plastic cover that shattered like that? You don't really need that. Mine came completely off. I don't think. I think it was just.
This is the email I sent to them, and it's going to be, I think it's back in 12/28, I think it. With everything I did here, and then there's the picture. I was trying to see if I found it. I don't know if she got the right ones because I was handling 2 cases here.
Well, all you can do is basically put it as clean as you can.
Don't know. If it's a both of you, yes, if it's you in them.
What do you think, Scott, Alec? These two are the happiest chicks we ever saw. They're thrilled with their job. What is this
Anchored thing, and we want to stand our ground. And whatever you say, it don't matter. Running out.
That sounds like it's right out of the Bible.
Okay, Jesus told it to me.
My time is running out. I gotta move. That's about as best summation of life as I've ever heard.
That's my ticket to me. $343.
Oh, you'll be out by 3:43. Sake.
They just got waiting. We could just come in and just leave. The debit.
It's this particular, believe it or not, was the first one to come back in that village after COVID. Remarkably fast. And they went to this, we had this format before for cigarette cases, where you come in this room. Oh, no, come to think of it. Trying to remember, there was a guy who used to sit here. Dun, 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 dun.
Did I say the right one? Well, it should have came back in 27. They should have had it back in, somebody had, because somebody replied.
Everyone is back.
Okay, thank you. The board has discussed this matter and it's our request that we want to take this under advisement for 30 days. During that time period, we would like to get a 1 to 2 page document within what I'll call a letter brief with documents attached to it to clarify your positions. We'd like that from both the city and the petitioner so that we can more fully understand the things that you've put before us today and consider the whole matter. And once we have those things, we'll review and take that under consideration. If we need to reconvene, we will. We might be able to, with those documents and that background, be able to come to a decision that we would present to both parties. Does anyone on the board have anything to add or adjust on what I've just said?
No, Nancy, I concur in that.
Ryan, boy, I concur.
Madam
Okay.
Chairman,
Yes,
may we have 20 days?
20?
You can get it to me in 20 days, but I think it should be 30. I like.
All right, 30 is even better. I like 30.
Yeah, I was just,
All right.
I was pondering it to see what's going to be the difference between the 20 and the 30. Is there a
I
problem at
just-
your end on the 20?
Okay,
30 days. And I'm gonna walk over and give you my business card. If you could just send it directly to me, I think that would make sure it gets to me, which is where it needs to be.
Yeah,
So repackage everything and then send it to me, okay?
And if you get things to us earlier, perhaps we can review and do something with it earlier. We were thinking from the standpoint of our time periods and the time you might need to produce it, that 30 days was a more appropriate figure.
very generous. Thank you.
But if you want to do it earlier, you're welcome to do that.
I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you very much for coming in today, and we look forward to reviewing the documents that come forth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
No, right?
he's everywhere.
I tried to be. Here I go, get out.
I believe the next item on our agenda is item number 6. Is that correct?
That is correct. Item number 6, Carbone.
Okay, Salvador Carbone, last 4 digits of the docket 2478. The property address is 5910 Castor Avenue. Okay. Good afternoon. Please identify yourselves for the record.
Joseph Thomas.
David Denenberg.
And you're an attorney
Yes,
for the petitioner. If you would answer to this, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Who has this matter for the city? Who?
Good afternoon, Adriana Gonzalez on behalf of the city.
I'm Ms. Gonzalez.
And you have the same support person?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Would you identify yourself for the record?
Lee Hype, I'm with Water Revenue Bureau's Adjudications Unit.
Okay, and you were sworn earlier. If you would provide the numbers and any other factual information that we need to go forward.
The petitioner is questioning June 29, 2016 through June 8, 2018. Principal amount of $41,473.33. There's $5,168.20 in penalties, as well as $111.45 in liens, totaling $46,752.98.
Okay, thank you. Does the city have anything to add before we turn to the petitioner?
No, I'd like to hear from the petitioner, please.
Okay, fine. Thank you. If we could turn to the petitioner then, please tell us why you're here and what it is you're looking for from this board.
So good afternoon, panel. I've been dealing with Kareem, I think it's Safadine, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, who was the city's attorney on this case for the past probably year and a half. I have provided him all of the information that he had requested. If you look at the account history, you will see that my client purchased this property by deed in April of 2018, but had been negotiating with Mr. Carbone from May of 2017, when the deed was prepared and notarized. My client was out at the property at 5910 Castor Avenue in February and March of 2017. If you look at the printout that I was handed today, which is the account history, there are 7 months really in question. From 2016, all through that year, the consumption was very low and standard, about 200 cubic square feet every month. In November of 2016, again, this property was occupied by the prior owner, Mr. Carbone. The water bill spiked 4,000% to 133,800 cubic square feet. The following month, it spiked to 108,800 square feet, and so on for about till April of 2017. My client will testify here today that he was out at the property on several occasions and saw no water on the second, first, or in the basement. The city is indicating that 617,000 square feet of water was consumed over a 6-month period of time and billed the prior owner $40,000. You'll see prior to that, it was a standard, 200 square foot a month, or over a year period of time, 2,400 square foot of water consumption. It's physically impossible that 617,000 square feet of water could have been consumed in 5 or 6 months of time when there was somebody who occupied the property. I'm asking the city to adjust the bill back to the standard bill that was before November of 16. And again, if you look at the bill, there is no printout after April of 17. There's a gap of about a year and 3 months in the account history. I can't answer why that ultimately happened, but anyway, the property has, after my client purchased it, was vacant, and I provided Mr. Safadine photographs that the property has been vacant.
I'd like to get a clarification here. You have indicated that the time period you're talking about with all of this water was before our petitioner acquired the property. Am I understanding that correctly?
Before the deed was recorded and acquired the property, that is correct. He was negotiating, and there is a deed that I gave to Mr. Safadine dated March 15th of 2017 and notarized on that date by a notary named Casey Salas.
But that means that our petitioner who's here today assumed those earlier cost burdens when he took possession of the property?
Well, was unaware that the city had billed out $40,000 worth of water over a 6-month period of time. Yes.
And let me get the names straight. We have this down as Salvador Carbone, and yet I thought that, and I was thinking that was our current petitioner's name, but you use that is in the past tense with the prior owner. And so I have to admit, I am a little confused.
Salvador Carbone was the prior owner. When my petition was filed, it was filed for Joe Thomas on behalf of Ruby Red Properties, Inc., the owner on the deed as of April of 2018.
And let me again ask our petitioner who's here with us today for your name.
Joseph Thomas.
Joseph, did you say Thomas?
Thomas, yes.
I
Okay.
believe that this is a weird administrative error. This petition was filed a while ago. So what I can do is I can have the office change the name to reflect the current owner versus the prior owner.
You know, because we had it down on our records. That's why I was getting very confused, because we have it down on our listing as Salvador Carbone. And I actually thought that's what he said when he introduced himself for the record at the beginning. And that perhaps because I was expecting that name. And so we need to get that clarified on the record. But again, our petitioner who's here with us assumed whatever obligations were there from that time period just before his full ownership at the time that he took possession of the property. Is that a correct statement?
Well, that,
Whether he knew what the full amount was or
Yeah.
not, but he was assuming any burdens from before.
that's the law. What I'm saying to the city is that, to the panel here today, is that it's physically impossible. And my
But-
client was out at the property.
We understand that, Mr.
We
Bennett.
understand that part.
Make sure that we have a standing issue. We just want to clarify that there is no standing issue in
Well,
terms of who's here in front of us today.
Yeah, so, I mean, the bill that was handed to me is in Ruby Red Property Inc.'s name.
Yeah, I think it's just an administrative issue on the Office of Administrative side that we need to change the name from Mr. Carbone's to Ruby Red Property.
And is that the name of the current owner? Now I'm getting confused. The current owner
The
So
current.
Joe Thomas.
is is the current owner?
No,
And is that on the city's records for the ownership of the
He
property?
just said no. Mr. Dennenberg, help me out here.
I will do that. Ruby Red Properties, Inc. is the current owner of this property.
Okay,
That's
and
how the deed was recorded in that entity's name. And always my understanding is that when you're a corporation, you can't appear without an attorney. This is Joe Thomas, the president, vice president, and secretary of Ruby Red.
thank you.
Okay,
Got it. Okay.
that was a piece I had missed altogether before.
I did as well. Okay, so now we know who owns the property. Okay, is that your case, Mr. Dennenberg?
There were no leaks. And when my client got his first bill in May of 18, that bill came out to 46,740,000. It was an astronomical number.
Was there a title search done?
No,
No.
this is a great elderly gentleman living in a home, single man. Straight up sale.
Okay. And you said that you had contact with Mr. Safedine. I assume that didn't resolve anything, and that's why you're here, so we don't have anything hanging over from your conversation with him?
Again, he asked me to send him photographs of the property, copy of the deed, and there were settlement negotiations, but I never heard from him. I don't know if he's still working at the city or not.
Okay, so then why don't we turn to the city at this point and have them provide their information?
Including, if you can, any information about someone who was representing the city in prior conversations.
I do have one final question for the petitioner. I understand he said he did not have a title search, but did you have title insurance?
No,
No.
And at closing, were you aware of the balance of the property, of the outstanding water bill?
no.
Could the petitioner
Oh,
respond?
I'm sorry. I thought you were asking me.
No, I'm asking the petitioner.
I'm sorry, say again.
Were you aware of a $40,000, $45,000 water bill?
No,
And you didn't have any title insurance,
no,
but you officially purchased the property in April of 2018.
Right.
And you stated that there were no leaks. Did you have a plumber go out to the property during that time or examine it since?
I went there before we actually agreed on the price many times. You know, dealt with the Mr. Carbone, and also I took my the notary to the house to get the paperwork signed. So I went there like 3-4 times, and I actually did not notice any issue with the water or leak in the house. And that's all I can say today.
And you did you have the property inspected?
No, it's just like, you know, just a buyer. It's like a straight up, you know, purchase.
At this time, I'd like to turn to the city's witness.
Okay,
Ms. Hike, have you had an opportunity to review this customer's account?
Yes,
And what type of property is this?
it's a residential property.
please stay close to your mic.
It's a residential property,
Who is the owner of the property?
Ruby Red Properties.
And when did they purchase the property?
It looks like they purchased the property March 15, 2017. March 15, 2017, looked like the balance transferred over May 11, 2018.
Okay. And what charges appeared on the customer's bills for the period in question?
Stormwater service and water usage.
Was there a meter in the property when the property was purchased?
Yes,
How do you know?
there were actual meter readings obtained on the bill.
And has that meter since been removed?
No,
When was the last time technicians were out to the property?
August 8th, 2019,
And why?
for shut off.
Have any adjustments been made to the account?
No,
Have there been any payments made on this account?
no.
And when a balance is left on an account for a property that is sold, who becomes responsible for the bill?
The new owner, the current owner, the new owner.
I have nothing further other than the fact that while this may have been a surprise to a property owner, purchasing a property without title insurance, without a title search, without inspection, without plumber's reports, without doing one's due diligence, you do run the risk of having unexpected billing. These readings are based on actual reads obtained from a meter, and this also lies outside of the current property owner's ownership. At earliest, the petitioner owned the property in March 2017, but records seem to indicate that and the petitioner also indicates that the deed was dated April 2018, which would leave this outside of their actual ownership and actual knowledge. While he may have walked around the property, he may have seen the property, visited the property, there's no indication that he had his own plumber inspect the property during this time. And there are many, many things that could have been going on at the property that we do not know about that could have been happening under the ownership of Mr. Carbone.
Could I get my chance to cross-examine?
I was just going to see
Sorry.
if the city was finished with their presentation and then come to you. Is there anything else from the city, or are you ending at that point?
I have nothing further other than any possible recross, and I apologize for going out of order.
Okay, now we'll turn to the petitioner's counsel.
Thank you. Do you have a copy of the deed in front of you?
No, I don't.
Okay, so if I told you that the deed was prepared on March 15, 2017, would you agree with me?
I I mean, I can or cannot agree. I have down indicated here that as the title date being March 15th, 2017, and it looks like the balance that was at the account was transferred over on May 11th, 2018. The balance was $46,752.98. I do not have the deed in front of me.
Okay, so, but if I told you as an attorney and an officer of the court that the deed was prepared on May 15th, 2017, and then notarized on May 15th, 2017, but not recorded until April of 2018, would that clarify your records?
Yeah, I mean, if I had the document, I would have to see the document, sir. I
Did
wouldn't be able to go by what
Mr.
you're saying.
Thank you. Did Mr. Safadine upload the deed to the city's site in the numerous communications I've had with him over the past year and a half?
I'm not aware as to what Mr. Safadine done with the document, sir.
Are there any notices on your site? Did Mr. Safadine and myself have had numerous communications, including the forwarding of the photographs that he requested of how the property looked in April of 2018?
I would object to this line of questioning. I did not ask Ms. Hike about the communications between Mr. Dennenberg and Ms. Hike, and nor does she have any personal knowledge of their communications.
This is cross-examination, and it goes to the heart of the matter of that I was negotiating and providing all the information and then heard nothing.
Again, I mean, at this point, if Mr. Dennenberg would like to have a brief continuance and we can all convene with Mr. Safadine to see if we can resolve this, I would be open to that, but I don't have Mr. Safadine's communications. It's possible that they were not in the file that I received for this case, but Ms. Hike I did not ask Ms. Hike about her Mr. Dennenberg's communications with the attorney previously assigned to this case. Therefore, Mr. Dennenberg's question to my witness about those communications is outside the scope of the direct.
Mr. Dennenberg, let's move on. We understand.
Okay,
We
thank
have the documents that I guess that were attached to the petition. I mean, I'm looking at the deed.
Okay, thank you. On October 30th, 2016, would you agree with me that the water consumption was 300 cubic square feet?
On which day, I'm sorry?
I'm looking at the account history sheet on October 30th, 2016.
Okay, give me a second.
You agree with me that there was a functioning meter in the property?
Give me a second, sir.
Thank you.
October 30th.
That was the reading on the date of the account history sheet that was given to me today.
It looks like on October 30th, 2016, that there was an estimated reading there. Let me see.
How would we know that?
Let's see.
Ms. Hike, could you share your screen? I feel like that might
Yeah, give me
help
1 second. Yeah. I can
people
share.
envision what you're saying.
Okay. 16, he said, October 2016. All right, here we are, October 30th, 2016. It looks like there was an estimated reading there of 300 cubic feet of water usage.
Is that the only estimate on the system?
Yes. That's
Were
the
all-
estimate.
Were all the other readings before where it says 200 cubic square feet the month before and in August the month before, were they all estimates?
No, they were actual.
Okay, so
All
then,
these readings are actual. In fact, that's the only month that there was an estimated reading. Everything else was actual.
Then in November, the next month,
Wow.
the cubic square feet went from 300 square feet to 133,800 square feet.
Correct.
And that was an actual reading.
Yes,
And the next month after that, it went from 108,800 square feet.
yes,
And then in January, it went to 101,000 square feet of water.
yes.
And,
The readings are being shared up on the screen, sir, yes.
and in April of 2017, it went to 58,000 square feet.
April 30th, yes.
What happened in May of 2017?
What do you mean in regards to water usage?
I'm asking what happened in May. It dropped to 0.
I'm not a plumber. I'm not at the property. I'm not sure what happened in the property, but the record reflects that there was zero water usage.
So would you agree with me that from November of 16 until April of 2017, that Mr. Carbone used 617,000 square foot of water consumed in a 2-story row home? That's what these records show.
Sir, I'm not at liberty to say what happened, what.
I'm just asking-
What the record reflects is that this is the amount of water usage that was measured that went through the meter, sir.
And the city billed Mr. Carbone $40,000 over 6 months of water usage and consumption.
Yes, sir.
And you would agree with me that you told the panel that the first time somebody went out from the Water Revenue Bureau was in August of 2019. Is that correct?
The last time she asked me, when was the last time someone went out? Not the first. time.
What was the time before that the city went out to the property?
Give me a second, I can check.
While she's looking for that, could I ask a question? Ask a
Go ahead.
question. Mr. Thomas, Mr. Denberg, could I ask your client a question? What kind of property is this? What is this?
This is a 3-bedroom row house.
Just on Castor Avenue,
It's on Castro Avenue, yes, yes, ma'am.
Tacony, or, wherever. Okay, and how many people live in it? Or it's vacant now?
It's vacant right now.
Vacant now. You bought it from Mr. Carbone. He lived in it, as far as
Yes.
you know? Okay,
Yes,
thank you. Oh, how many bathrooms?
1.5 baths.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
And a laundry or anything like that? Mr. Thomas?
Is there a laundry room?
Yes, there's a laundry room there, yes.
Washer, dryer. Okay.
I doubt it.
Well, no, there's no washer dryer, just we have the laundry hookup area.
Did you ever live there?
I'm sorry.
Did you ever live there?
No, I did not.
Okay, I wasn't sure from earlier conversation.
Ms. Gonzalez, did you have anything else to present?
I do have a question, one more question for,
Mr. Denenberg, you're not done.
No, I just have a couple more. I really want to get to why the ERT was replaced in March of 2019.
Is that outside the scope of the time we're talking about? Yeah,
It is, but again, for 21 months, it was 0 reading. So if you go from
It was zero reading after that,
May of 18, it's zero.
but it's zero after the art was replaced.
No, it was zero before the art was
Right, but
replaced.
it's zero after to also.
Of course.
There's
Then
no-
all of a sudden, it's still vacant, and now there's readings in 2019, which we can't explain because the water is been off at the curb.
No, I don't have that. We don't
Well,
have.
she said they came off and turned the water off, and there's still readings.
Is that on the bills that Mr. Thomas has received?
No, it's in the printout that was given to me today. August of 19, September of 19, October of 19, there's readings, and the water was shut off in August.
Mine stops in June.
Mine also stops in June. Mr. Dennemer, can you verify that address? I might have given you another page of somebody else's.
Okay,
No, you gave me 5910 Castor Avenue.
Okay, I'm just making sure because the copy
yeah.
I have doesn't go that far, that's all.
Yeah,
Mine stops in June of 19.
So does mine.
no, mine goes to October of 2021.
No. Well, huh. All right.
okay,
Still outside of this.
so when was the, what was the question again, sir? Counsel?
Why did the city go out and replace the ERT in March of 2019?
Okay, we don't have. We have a meter.
You have a
change.
record of that.
Okay, why we don't have, let me see, why?
It's on the printout.
Hold on, I'm just looking at the picture and seeing why. Just trying to see if I can get.
I mean, I would object to this question. It's outside the scope of the petitioner's petition.
Okay.
It's showing something is wrong.
Well, I
If
don't-
the ERT was replaced and the water is shut off in August, how does the meter continue to read water is being consumed?
Again, both of those instances are outside the petitioner's question period.
It goes to the problem with a meter that's in this property.
The meter wasn't changed. Is that correct? I don't care who answers.
I don't know.
Okay, city. It's like the meter was not changed, only the ERT was changed.
That was in
In 2019, that's correct.
Yes.
Okay, so, all right, so Mr. Denneberg, we got it. The
Okay.
meter is still there, for whatever, however, why ever they changed the ERT. The point is the meter, which you're claiming is defective, is still sitting there even with a new ERT and is now showing some readings that I don't have in front of me. After 19,
And
after,
it's after the petition period.
after the petition,
If-
period. But it goes,
if it is-
but it goes
Right.
to the argument that if the water is shut off, and I don't see when was the water shut off, Ms. Hike?
The water was shut off in August, August 8th, 2019.
So if I don't have a document that shows any readings past June, but Mr. Denenberg is saying that he does. So it goes back to, how could there be readings if the water is shut off?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the point. Thank you. Got it.
That's all the questions I have with this witness.
I have one last question for Ms. Hike. Was the water shut off during the period in question ever?
No.
If I showed you a portion of
Let me see.
our city's website, would that refresh your
Yeah,
refresh
can
your
you bring it up?
recollection?
'Cause I don't see anything here from where I'm sitting at. Could you bring it up?
Yes.
to me?
Can you please direct your attention to a call note from 4/18/2017? Do you see it?
Give me a second. Yes,
And what does that call note indicate?
it was restored on, it was a shut off on 4/8/2017.
Can you speak to your mic, please?
Yeah, there was a shut off on 4/18, April 18, 2017.
And was that shut off completed?
Yes. Well, it looked like a restore was put right back into place
When do you see the restore?
for the same day, so the shut off wasn't completed.
Can, what, there's a restore on the same day as 4/18/17.
It looks like it, yes.
I will stop sharing my screen. Can you indicate where that is?
It's right above it. Let me see, it's a shut off. Can you see it? Oh, that's for 18. Yeah, that's for 18. That's no.
Mr. Thomas, is the
Shut off.
water on now? Mr. Denenberg, is the water on now?
No,
Water is off.
been off.
As far as, Mr. Thomas, to the best of your knowledge, how long has the water been turned? Is it turned off at the
The clerk-
direction of the water department, or did you turn it off?
No, my understanding was the water is turned off from the clerk.
From the water department, not from your actions?
No,
And it's still, do you know approximately how long the water's been turned off?
over 2 years, I believe.
Okay, and it had not been restored,
No,
or to the best of your knowledge. Thank you.
that's,
We'll restore here, like July 30th, 2018.
Pardon me. So was there a restore request put in?
Yeah, it looks
For this
like right here,
property?
this is a work order right here. It looks like one was put in July 30th, 2018. You see the date?
Well, no, you're sharing your
Your
screen, but you're
screen
not
is not
showing
just
that.
not showing us basis.
Okay. You see
Can we
it?
restore the screen?
Can you see it?
Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
Can you see it? I'm sorry.
Is there anything else we're going to get from the city record, or should we go back to having the people on the screen?
So Ms. Hike, this indicates that the water was restored in 2018,
Yes,
and it indicates that at some point previously the water was shut off.
yes.
And when previously does it note the water was shut off?
April 18th, 2017.
Okay, but then it was not restored until 2018.
Yes.
And was there any subsequent shut off again? 19, 20, 21?
There was something just.
No,
Just
I
passed
don't see any other shut offs.
by, what is 2020, March of 2020?
I don't see any other shut offs.
Okay, nothing completed.
No other shut offs, no.
Right.
So the 2019 date that we noted that text went out to the property, but previously that shut off was actually canceled.
Let me see, August 8th, August 2019.
Okay, August 2019.
August, yeah. Now that was another shut off. The last one, was August 8th, 2019.
But that's just the last time they went.
That's
to
just the last time.
And so is it
Shut
currently
off.
noted as shut off?
Yes, it shut off. That was the last time they visited to shut it off, August 8th, 2019.
And they haven't been back to there and hasn't been restored.
No,
I have no further questions for Ms. Hike.
Could you explain if the water was shut off on August? What was the date in August of 19?
August 8th.
August 8th of 19, how the city of Philadelphia continued to bill water at 3,600 cubic square feet in September, 1,300 square feet in October, and December, 100 square feet? Could you
I don't believe that this is relevant. I'm sorry.
It's
I have
very
to-
relevant. It's
Sir,
really
sir,
relevant.
Mr. Denenberg, just let me get my point across on the record. As a director, I think we should stay in the scope of what was appealed, and what was appealed was a specific time period. And now we've taken the time to go into all of this additional information that wasn't in the scope of the petition. I just have to remind everybody why we're here today.
We're here today because the city is billing
Okay,
617,000 square feet of water, which is, I believe, 4,000 times a month than the normal charge of 200 to 300
100% agreed, but that was done in 2016 to 2018, not 2021.
Okay,
There's a problem with this meter.
so I guess at this point, we want just last closing remarks from everybody. Mr. Dennenberg?
Thank you for listening to this. What we do know is my client had been out at the property in February and March of 2017, as evidenced when the deed was signed and notarized by Mr. Carbone. Mr. Carbone was an elderly single man living at the property. Ultimately, the deed got recorded. But what we're here for is it's, I believe, physically impossible that 617,000 square feet of water could be used over a 6-month period of time without any neighbor, anybody going to the property and seeing a waterfall of water coming from the property. It's 4,000 times over the normal charge that the city is billing. Yes, my client would owe something, but it would be something that would be normal as it was before. At the highest before, it was 600 cubic square feet a month, the lowest at 200 cubic square feet a month. To penalize Mr. Thomas or Ruby Red Properties to pay $40,000 over 6 months is absolutely ridiculous. Normally, a year in a residential home is somewhere in the vicinity of 2,400 square feet to 3,000 square feet. Not what the number that they're billing at 100,000 square feet a month. You'll see throughout the documents, the water was shut off, but this water company kept billing my client. All we're asking is for the panel to come up with some reasonable number over the 6 months of November of 16 through April of 2017. And my client will pay the bill in full. He owes the city no money on any of his properties. The property was still vacant. It's always been vacant after he purchased it. And it's physically impossible that I'm aware that swimming pools of water would not be flowing out of the property if they build the 617,000 square feet of water in 6 months. Thank you.
Thank you. Does the city have any other closing comments to make?
Only to reiterate my previous comments that this is a property where it was purchased, without inspection, without insurance, without title research, and without any sort of plumber's report. We have, while Mr. Thomas has visual ideas of what happened at the property, there was not a plumber's inspection done at the time. He didn't own the property at the time, so didn't really have the same kind of access that one would believe to be able to ascertain positively or negatively exactly what was happening in the property. Furthermore, these were actual reads that were only, as indicated, stopped by a shut off of water by the water department. Water was shut off, as my witness indicated, in April of 2017. That is the last time that we have a reading from that property until subsequent years outside the scope of this appeal. So, in essence, because the water customer has failed to affirmatively prove that these readings are incorrect, the city would ask that the petition be denied.
Mr. Gonzalez, I have one just question to make sure I have the dates right. So the initial shut off was April of 2017. And when was it restored?
Sometime in 2018, I believe my witness indicated.
Okay, thank you. I guess we're ready to go back.
Yes, I think so.
If everyone can hold tight.
So they all go back to one. Stacy. Ms. Gonzalez, can you hear me?
Yes.
Who is Deborah Creech? On my screen. Just curious. Yeah, do you know who?
This is just another petitioner's witness, I believe.
Not my case.
No.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know who she was.
Yeah, I think she's one of a later petitioner who has been observing.
Got it.
Adriana, where'd you go to law school? Oh, she left already. I think she left.
I don't think I can mute you, so I don't get to talk. Okay. I need an expert to come in. This, the typical water use is X. 4,000. Even the pipe might be burst, even in that case, if they go for 6,000 square foot, so the bursting from the first side, it has to be the water. It's water that goes through the meter. So if it's broken on the side. Right. Yeah. It just. You can't talk. You can't lawyer and discuss. If she was here live, yeah. Yeah, no, today. Right. And I have my emails. They don't even have the documents. Did you ever meet Mrs. O'Donnell? Did you ever meet Mrs. O'Donnell? And is this what she looks like? No, nobody.
Nancy, everyone is back.
Okay, fine, thank you. The board's reached a decision. It's our decision to take the period from 6/29/16 to 6/8/18 and reduce the charges there to 1,000 cubic feet per month and to abate all the penalty for that time period. What we're going to ask is that when the waiting period is used up, and I'll come back to that in a second, that we're going to ask you to pay in full within 30 days of the date of our letter. Basically, what will happen, you'll get a letter from us that spells out our decision. Both sides do have the right to appeal to the Court of Common Pleas within 30 days of the date of our letter. I'm going to assume for the moment that neither side's going to choose to appeal. And if that proves to be the case, then you would have a time period after that to enter into payment arrangements. And we're suggesting that that payment be made in full in that interval after the time period that you could go to court. Let's get a confirmation from the board on this. Paula?
Paula Weiss, I concur. I think that Ryan may have to concur in the chat.
Right, he was having trouble with his mic a few minutes ago, and he says he concurs, and it's in the chat room. If you can look at the bottom of your screen, there's a one chat, and it's from Ryan Boyer to everyone that he concurs, and Nancy Kammerdiner, I concur. So we have a quorum of 3 on this matter. That's our decision going forward. I hope everyone understands what I put forth, and hope that we can get a resolution on this matter based on that decision.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
panel.
very much.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Getting
Happy New
kicked out.
Yes, moving on.
Yes, the next item on our agenda is number 3. I just turned my screen the wrong way here. I'm losing my, does somebody have that right out? I just lost it on my screen here.
Yes, case number 3, Nancy Evan
Yes.
Richards, last 4 digits of the docket 0317, property 700 North 63rd Street.
Thank you very much. I hit the wrong button and I lost it all.
I understand.
Hello, members of the board.
Oh, hi, I didn't realize that you were, that's right. Do we have somebody in the room as well as you?
Yes.
Okay, let me get, so we've read the items into the record. If the petitioner could identify himself for the record,
Evan Richards.
and
Okay.
do we have
Evan
two?
Richards is in the room. Nancy Evan Richards is in the room at the TRB. And then
And
Sebastian
is someone
Richards is
who also needs to be identified.
Yeah.
Sebastian Richards, son of Evan Richards.
Okay, in both cases, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
Yes.
Mr. Richards in the room.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we didn't hear your acknowledgement.
Yes.
I got it that time. Thank you. Who has this matter for the city?
Good afternoon, Adriana Gonzalez on behalf of the city.
Okay, and I believe you have someone with you as well. So if she could identify herself for the record too, please.
Taliba Hike, I'm with Water Revenue Bureau.
Okay, and you were sworn in earlier. If you could give us the numbers for the record, that would be appreciated.
The petitioner is questioning July 26, 2021. That's a balance transfer. And June 25th, 2021 through October 27th, 2021. Principal amount is $10,175.44. There's $2.95 in penalties, $91.45 in liens, totaling $10,269.84.
Can you repeat the principal one more time?
$10,175.44.
44 cents.
Can you say the
And is that
date?
the total bill as it stands? Is
I'm sorry.
that the total bill as it stands?
The total account balance as it stands, give me a second. I'm sorry, Melissa, I heard you. I'll be right with you.
No, it's okay. I got it. Thank you.
Got it, okay. The account balance as it stands, sir, is $8,164.99. But what's in question is the total amount of $10,269.84.
And the time period that covered, again, you had given it, but
Okay, there's a balance transfer that occurred. So we're gonna come from 6/25/2001 through 10/27/2021. So 6/25/2021 through 10/27/2021.
And just so I'm clear, you said $10,269.84, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you're saying the principal amount was $8,164?
No, the $8,000 is the account balance that it's at right now. That's how much the bill is at right now. The
right
8,000
now.
Right now,
That
today.
was due today.
Yes, now, the numbers that I was reading off to you are the numbers that are in question on your petition.
Okay, just so
That you're questioning. On
so
the
clear, if the balance is $8,164 and how many cents?
99 cents.
Okay, the $10,000 number is relevant or no?
Yes, that's what you're questioning today.
So some of,
Hold on. What I'm questioning today, we need to go back with the history of the situation.
Okay.
My bill was more than about $1,500. Okay? And they turn it off. It was on the 2000 when they turn it off. You know what I mean? All right. They said to bring in the meter. Nobody wasn't living there because the water was living there and they turned off the water. So they said to give them $1,600 until the meter is read, because the meter broken down, rusty out. After they read the meter, it becomes a $4,000 bill. I couldn't, them said give them $1,600, I couldn't afford it. So they sent me a letter, $25 a month interest until the bill is paid. Is the $25 a month why they drill the hole in it? This bill was a simple bill, and they put $25 a month and drive the bill up. During which time I lost the place. I had to fight to get it back. So the big question is right now, that $25 a month, even at $25 a month, if you add it up, it wouldn't come to that amount.
excuse me a moment,
The bill is not 8,000, is the $25 a month, bring it up there.
excuse me, you said you lost the property. Do you mean that you lost ownership of the property?
Yes.
Do you have the ownership back on the property?
Yes, it was stolen. The place was stolen for it took me about 4 years to get it back.
Okay, I didn't understand, and I wanted to get a confirmation on what it was you were trying to tell us.
Okay,
And Ms. Mike, if you could clarify just for both Mr. Richards, do you know what time period this balance transfer covers?
Yeah,
Yes,
go
if
ahead.
you can give me one moment, please. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Paula, you read my mind.
Okay, I'm trying. Because I'm assuming, and I know she stepped away, this is not a $25 a month dish add up. This is whatever the bills were each month for some number of years, which would have been some combination of service charge, stormwater charge.
No, at the time when they hit the $25, it was only $4,000 they wanted.
When was that?
That was what I mean with the place stolen. After that, I'm 83
But we
years
need to
old.
know when. We need
Eh?
to know what year.
Well, the place was stolen for about 3 years. And the $25 a month was implemented about 3 years before that.
But I don't know what years those were.
I don't quite remember. I'm 83 years old, Mom. I can't remember.
Oh, hold on, let's see if the city can help us. Ms. Hike?
The balance transferred over.
But the actual usage
Sir,
was $1,500.
We're going to get some testimony from the city and we'll come back to you.
On July 26, 2021, there was a balance transfer.
Closer to your mic, please.
On July 26, 2021, there was a
Mhm.
balance transfer in the amount of $10,062.04.
Right, I got that. Do you know what time period that balance transfer covers?
Let me go back into the previous owner's account. The guy who had it before him. Let's see.
I also, this was the one case I did have a preliminary statement planned.
Okay, we'll get you.
Okay.
We didn't forget you.
Don't make it too good, Adriana.
It looks like the previous owner, the account was in a previous owner's name from
Rich.
August 15, 2019 through April 19, 2021. Now, let me go
Right.
back to his account he had before it switched over into the previous owner's name.
Right, and at that point, it was $1,200.
Okay, and who was the previous owner? Who's this owner from 19 to 21?
It was
That
my
was-
son.
No, it was West Philadelphia.
West Philadelphia Development LLC.
It was a
Okay.
fictitious company, yeah.
It's like that. They're onto it.
West
And
Philadelphia
then before
Development.
that, Mr. Richards, you owned it before that. There's a gap, right? When it was stolen is what you're saying.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
Mr. Richards, you owned it before 19, and then you own it now, and there's a 2-year or so period in there where West Philadelphia, whatever they were, owns it.
yeah, but the actual bill that they hit me with $4,000, that was after they check a rusted out meter. The actual bill before the meter rusted out was $1,500. That's where we're coming from. And when I got back the place from my son, it was only $1,200. So the $25 a month shoots it right out of control.
When's the last time a payment was made on this account?
Well, the place, I got back the place about a year ago. And I got COVID. I was in the hospital. I broke my ribs. So now I'm able to pick up back and trying to get my life together, get back the thing. So what is the essence of today is what you can do for me, because this bill, this 8,000 bill never could reach that amount. It's the $25 a month carried to that. And
All right, well, the bill wasn't $25 a month,
no,
So
the
it's like-
penalty.
Okay,
okay, but that
That's
was
a
not,
penalty, but that's separate from what we need to find out with the bill amount.
The bill,
Pike, let's go back to Ms. Pike.
This bill
when they,
goes,
when they,
Hold on,
Can you wait a moment, please?
You have to hold on. Everybody else has to say stuff. So just.
One person
wait
at a
your turn.
Yeah.
One person at a time.
when they
Yeah.
implement the $25
Okay,
a month.
please hold on. Let the city talk for a moment.
all right, it goes back to 5/19/2011. I'm gonna say it's gonna go back further than that, because there's another account in his name. On that, on May 19, 2011, the balance was $1,271.25.
Okay, that's
All
fine.
right, yeah, so yeah, that was in 2011. Now, at the end of that term before this record was changed into another person's name, let's see. The balance was at $10,878.11. That
And
was,
And when was that?
that was October 4th, 2019.
Huh. All right.
It's I don't owe the city more than 1,500 water.
Okay,
You're saying there was a balance transfer on August of 19.
Transfer from what?
That was prior to the October 4th, October.
When Craig gave me back this property, it was $1,200.
Hold on,
All right,
Darrell.
I'm kind of getting, I think this is getting away from us.
Yeah, perhaps we can get some clarification from Ms. Gonzalez. She had prepared an opening and maybe
Yeah.
that can lead us down the right road.
So this is a matter that is convoluted by the intervening fraud. So Mr. Richards Mr. Evan Richards acquired the property in 2011 and acquired with it a balance of about $1,200 from the previous owner. During that period of ownership from April 2011 until there was a transfer away from Mr. Richards in August of 2019, there were very few payments made on the account. The last payment being made in August of 2011. So from August 2011 to present, there have been no payments on the account. Additionally, during the period of fraudulent conveyance from August 2019 to 2021, there was a 15-year write-off on the account. So in essence, when the property was transferred away from Mr. Richards, the balance was approximately $10,800.
Yes, but listen,
The
Mr.
property
Richards,
was,
Mr. Richards, you have to hold on. We have to get someone's clear understanding of this, so just hold on.
when Mr. Richards regained possession of the property, the balance that he carried up until the theft was transferred to his new account, which in that point, because of the 15-year write-off, was less than what was transferred to the fraudster. So the transfer away from him was $10,800. The transfer back to his current account was $10,000.62 and some change. So over the course of the time that Mr. Richards did not have possession of the property, he was not charged for that period of time and also was given the benefit of a 15-year write-off.
all right, answer this
This
question.
balance is entirely due to non-payment.
When the $25 a month was imposed, how much the bill was then? How much you said you want?
Mr. Richards, have you made any payments on this account since you purchased it in 2011?
I'm 83 years old and the COVID and everything fall down. I had an accident.
You purchased this property in 2011. Did you ever pay a water bill?
There's no water bill. No, I couldn't
No,
say.
there's a water bill every month. If you purchased this property in 2011, did you ever pay a water bill?
What we need to look at is.
No. That's a yes or no question.
Do you remember if you paid a water bill?
Since what?
2011, do you remember if you paid a water bill?
11?
Yeah, do you remember?
He doesn't
All I know is,
I'm sorry,
hold on, all I know is I get the place back from my son. It was $1,200. They claim they want $4,000. At $4,000, I couldn't pay no money because I didn't have no money. And then they put $25 a month and $4,000 and brought it up to $10,000.
Mr. Richards, there's a bill every month.
If I don't live there,
Yes.
Yes,
how much?
it varies depending upon how much water is actually used.
Nobody was living there.
There's
It's like-
service
but that-
charge and stormwater charge every month. How much is it, Hike?
I want you to answer one question for me. How much did you want at the point where you put the $25 a month?
More than $25 a month.
I don't know. where-
$25 a month interest, yeah. That is what carried, and even the $4,000 that they say must give them $25 a month. It wasn't $400. I didn't owe them $400, but because I wrote it out meter, but they said give them $400. $400, and I couldn't give them $400, so they put $25 a month and dig a hole.
Ms. Gonzalez, I have a question. So there was a write-off of everything that was on the account between 2011 and sometime when the write-off occurred.
What is the write-off?
She's asking the city a question. Please hold off on your comments.
So there was a write-off for the non-payment that had been occurring since 2011, is that correct?
No, so when debt is older than 15 years, the debt that's older than 15 years gets written off. So a portion was written off.
You know how much?
No.
approximately,
no.
yes. And I also can pull all this out through Ms. Hike, if the board would like, and go through the full account, a full history for the time period.
I guess the question is, Mr. Richards, I guess Sebastian, what is it that you're looking for from us?
All right, here's what's going on. So we're-
Let me address this. At the time, if I had, when they say give them $4,000, it was after they read a meter that was rusted out. So I didn't feel the $4,000 was, the four was justified. However, I couldn't give them the money, so they put $25 a month interest on $400. And if, and even if they charge $25 a month, it wouldn't reach $10,000.
Please,
Because I'm 12 months a year and $25 a month, that couldn't reach that kind of money.
Hey, Dad, 1 second. I think they had a very important question that we should answer.
How much would we like to do?
What would you
Well,
like-
please wait.
What is happening now, you see? I'm sick. I'm 83 years old. And what you can do for me.
Do you live in this property?
Yeah, well, right now there's no water, but all my property.
You live in the property,
Yes,
is the
yes,
water
yes.
turned off?
The water is,
Sebastian, water
the
turned
water is
off
off, yeah,
I think it's turned off, yes.
by the city?
yeah.
Ms. Gonzalez, I don't know what your income level is. Is this perhaps Mr. Richards is eligible for a program?
Mr. Richards could be eligible for a number of programs, and it would behoove him to apply for a taxpayer assistance program to inquire as to what that is. I'm not sure what his income is. They are income based, but if he meets the eligibility requirements, he would be qualified for either a senior, at very least a senior citizen discount, or for one of our customer, or for tax.
Program, and the city would turn the water back on.
Yes, if he applied for and was approved from one of those programs, yes, the water would be restored.
So- Good.
Ms.
Could we-
Gonzalez, can you confirm that the period or the water that was consumed when there was fraud in the property, that is not part of this bill that is due and owing? I guess I just want to confirm that.
So again, I can show you the account. I can question my witness. Can do it whichever you prefer.
Just answer the question.
Okay, yeah. So I will, it's easiest to show you the account.
As quickly as you can.
Yes. So as you can see, so this is,
You got to zoom in.
yes. Can everyone see this, or is this hard to see?
It's good.
It's okay.
Okay, so this is the account for the intervening owner, the fraudster. The balance that was transferred from the previous account when the property was transferred was this.
How
And
much?
then they also do not make payments. However,
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I do understand that was it Taliba? I think it's your name right. Said that they had the property since August, but you're showing a balance transfer as of October. So there was at least a 2-month overlap.
so that is the date that the transaction was created, but the transaction actual date of effect is August.
If we want to get to the bottom of this,
One sec, guys, one sec, guys.
when the bill was $4,000,
Hold on, Dad, let her finish her thing. So I interrupted, but she had to finish. Sorry, go ahead, Adriana.
So we are looking at the transaction date here. So this is the balance that was transferred to the West Philadelphia Development LLC. This is a write-off of principal that happened during that period.
Okay.
While there was billing for service, for just service and stormwater here, this $28, there was no usage billed. And and the balance that then was transferred back to Mr. Richards was $10,062.04. So if we see there was, Mr. Richards comes out of this period of time over which there are bills being issued to the property,
I
still owing less than what he did when the property was transferred away from him. So
Can you,
in essence, the 15-year write-off erased all of the usage that occurred, all of the bills that occurred during outside the period of his ownership, and then some.
no, you're not right.
No, I think we're back
Go
to.
back to, go back to when the
wait.
bill was $4,000.
We don't want to go back.
No, I think the
Right,
answer here.
you don't wanna go back because that's
It's
where the
gone.
fox is. That's where the fox is.
Yeah, one second.
$25 a month and $4,000.
I
Hold
think
on.
the
That's where the
answer
fox
here
is.
is your father's probably eligible for some very significant city programs that will remove the bill or remove his responsibility for the bill and provide him with a monthly payment that he can afford based on his income. And I think that we could continue this, not make any kind of decision while you explore
Right.
that.
That was what I was going to suggest as well.
And then, assuming he's eligible, he would have to start making payments, however, which has not happened, but they would be payments based on his income, a small percentage of his income, and it would then provide a pathway to remove this $10,000 from him.
The question I have is, I was hoping to accomplish today. We're hoping, he's had the house by himself, trying to manage it. It's quite a big space there, but we're trying to get everything wrapped up with the house and get all the liens off. We're trying to clear everything and as a family, trying to get it together. So we're before the board today to ask if you guys would be willing today to reduce the principal. I guess that's where most of the money is. If you'd be willing to reduce the principal so that we could go ahead and just get this thing paid off as a family and get this down to zero, and then from there, move forward.
And
We're also trying to transfer the property
Look at-
so we can make some needed renovations. It needs a lot of work. So that was part of it too. So if we were hoping to get that underway by the end of this week. So we were here today to see what you can do for us so we could try to make that happen.
and also,
Are you planning to sell the property?
I'm gonna take it over and then put money towards it for the renovations. So yes,
And then sell the property?
no, we're gonna keep it in the family.
but what they must look from when the bill was $4,000, what happened then?
Can,
1 second. Dad.
Problem is there hasn't been a payment made since 2011,
Yeah, Dad, 1 second, sorry.
and that's where all of this comes from. I mean, we can go back and discuss it.
Yeah, how about we do that?
I agree on it. Do you want to say anything else?
Well, I appreciate all your time.
I would like to have my witness's testimony put on the record just in the event that this does get appealed,
Go ahead.
just to make a complete record. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. And we will go quickly. Ms. Hike, have you had an opportunity to review this water customer's account?
Yes,
What type of property is this?
it's a residential property.
Who is the owner of the property?
Evan Richards.
Was there ever another owner of this property?
Yes,
When was that?
August 22nd, 2019.
Okay, and when did Mr. Richards regain ownership of the property?
June 8th, 2021.
And how do you know?
The recorded deed, the Office of Deeds and Records.
Okay. What charges appeared on this customer's bills for the periods in question?
Stormwater service
And about how often was the property charged for usage during this period?
usage, 4 months. About
And what was the account balance when the property was transferred away from Mr. Richards?
$10,878.11.
After interest,
And were any adjustments made to the account during the time the petitioner did not own it?
Yes,
What was that adjustment?
there was a 15-year write-off applied to the account on March 14, 2020. So that they deducted $1,678.35 from his account.
Okay, and what was the account balance when the property was conveyed back to Mr. Richards?
$10,062.04.
When was the last time the petitioner made a payment toward this water sewer bill?
I have a payment date? August 29, 2011.
And overall, what is the payment history like?
It's a poor payment history.
Thank you very much.
How much was it at the time the last payment I made? How much was the bill?
August the 29th, 2011, how much was the bill?
Mhm.
Give me a second. See, 2010, let me see if I can get 2011. Yeah.
It's okay. Uh-huh.
This is the crunch of the case right there. Is the $25 a month taken
No,
care of this?
Please, no.
1 second.
Are you able to get the number on there?
Yes,
No, guess,
August.
no guess,
August
One second,
29th.
no guess. How much, what did I owe at the last payment? Because at that time,
2011, sir?
eh,
In 2011?
I owe under $3,000 at that point.
Okay.
$1,136.77.
How much?
$1,136.77.
That what was owed. Right? So how is the interest carried to dig the hole to this amount?
Adriana, do you have additional information you want to put on the record?
I have nothing further. Though I do encourage Mr. Richards to, while he is the owner occupant of the property or a lawful occupant of the property, to avail himself of the city's many, many customer assistance programs.
All right, so let's go back.
No, as you see, as
We're going to step back and discuss what we're going to do.
Okay, everybody hold tight, please.
not interested in not interested in term payment.
1 second,
We
Dad.
want, we want to pay the bill up. We're
Dad,
not interested in a term payment and programs and all that. We
You can
want,
talk to him while we step aside.
okay, I just have a word for you guys before you leave. So just so we're on the same page, basically we're here before, we're just, I guess at this point, need your mercy to just kind of get this squared away. We want to get the bill resolved. I know he has had a payment, hasn't really made a payment in a long time. He is 82. And at this moment in time, as a family, we want to step in and we want to get the bill resolved and try to get the place renovated. It's a nice place, needs a lot of work though. And we're trying to get it renovated and keep it in the family. And then so he can,
Thank you. We appreciate your.
we want a figure.
thank you for your time. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Hold on. Nancy, everyone is back.
Okay, thank you.
And we're all back?
Yes.
Okay, the board has reached a decision. It's a difficult one because we understand a lot of the situation here, but we also know that no payments have been made since 2011 on the water bills. And we really can't get past that. And it is our decision that we are going to deny the petition. I know that's not what you're looking for, but we really find that with no activity in terms of payments in all that time period, that is about the only thing we can do.
Well, answer one question for me. At the point when the $25 a month was imposed, how much?
I don't know anything about the
Where is
$25
that?
a month
That's-
because
where-
that hasn't been cleared.
That's
But,
supposed to be on the record, that I was billed $25 a month interest on $4,000.
Mr.
Okay,
Richards, you didn't say any of it. It really doesn't matter.
Right,
Oh,
we're
yes.
concerned about what was billed and what was paid, and
Well,
what was
wait,
billed was not paid
if
in
you-
any situation, and that's
my
what
bill
we
is for-
really can't get past.
If my bill is $4,000,
um,
hold on. If my bill is
We have a
$4,000,
concurrence on that decision,
if my
Always,
bill,
I concur.
if my bill is $4,000
and
and you put $25
Brian
a
Boyer
month,
isn't available for us online at the moment, but he had given us his proxy to go along with what we had decided. And so you'll get a letter from us that spells out our decision. Both sides do have the right to appeal to the Court of Common Pleas within 30 days of the date of our letter. I'm going to assume for the moment that neither side is going to appeal, and should that be the case, then we would ask that you work with the city to make payment arrangements on the past due amounts.
well, if you can
Thank you
show,
all.
if they can show me on their records that it was,
Okay, thank you very
4,000
much. We've made our decision.
I just want to say one thing. If they can show me and they have record of when the bill was $4,000,
That they have records that show a lot of those
no, that
bills
didn't-
and
that didn't-
no payments having been made, and
Listen,
that's what we're
How
looking
may I
at.
make payments at that point?
Thank you very much.
$4,000 and $25 a month thing, is that?
Okay,
gonna be
thank
enough?
you very much.
You're not helping nobody, man.
All right, let's move on to the next matter.
Yeah, we have one more case before
Thank
us,
you, Mr.
and
Richards. I'm sorry, Mr. Richards, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
yes, thank you very much. Sorry, see, we have one more case, and that's item number 5. Isabella Hammond, last 4 digits of the docket 0453. The property address is 5205 North Howard Street. And I believe we're doing this on Zoom.
That is correct.
And
Hammond.
so I see that someone is there, but you're on mute. So would you please make yourselves available for sound as well?
Thank you for your patience today.
Yes, thank you very much. If you could identify yourselves for the record, please.
I am Deborah Creech. This is my mother, Isabella Hammond.
Can she identify herself
Isabella Hammond.
for both of you? Do you swear or affirm to tell
I'm
the
also on the
truth
son,
with
Bruce
everything
Hammond.
that comes before the board?
There's one more person, my brother.
Oh, okay,
another
I'm
person.
sorry.
Bruce Hammond.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you in that site with the pretty scenery behind you, or is that just for show?
Wishful thinking.
Okay, who has this matter for the city?
Good afternoon, Adriana Gonzalez on behalf of the city.
And with you is,
Ms. Height.
Leave a hike.
and you were sworn earlier. Can you give us the numbers for the record, please?
Yes, the petitioner is questioning January 11th, 2019 through May 11th, 2022. The principal amount is $2,267.32. There is $208.62 in penalties, $91.45 in liens, totaling $2,567.39.
That principal amount, I didn't get it all down. Could you repeat that, please?
Yes, it's $2,267.32.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, does the city want to make any opening comments or should we be turning to the petitioner?
This is an instance where there was a non-registering ERT. But the meter tech was able to get an actual read from the meter. So there is a rebilling for a period of approximately 38 months. That is well in line with the average usage of the property. So the city would ask that this rebilling be undisturbed.
And you said there were readings on the meter.
Yes, it was a non-registering meter. For some period of time, it was registering 0 reads. And then once all parties were apprised of the fact that there were 0 readings, the water department was allowed in the property to replace the ERT when they were.
Okay, so there was a period with no readings and then the ERT was replaced. Okay, I misunderstood you the first time through. I'm glad I asked. Okay, do you want us to turn to the petitioner at this point?
Yes, please.
Okay, I don't know who is speaking for the three of
am.
you, or if you're all contributing.
I am. Now, when my mother paid her bill every month, so the bills that she was getting, they wasn't actual bills, they was estimates.
Yes,
Was you aware of that, Ma?
What? That your bill was an estimate? No. She said no.
I mean, I know that my mother always complained that her bill was like going up and down, fluctuating up and down. And I know a number of times they had people out to check the meter. They had to check to see for water leaks, but we never was aware that it was a problem with the thing that y'all said that was changed, and that her bills that she was paying was actually that much low, because her bills was relatively like $80 to $100 a month.
she had a period of time, Mr. Hammond, just for explanation purposes, where the bill was $27.69. And that would reflect, I assume, stormwater and service charge. But although the meter was recording water usage, the electronic device that transmits that information to the Water Revenue Bureau was not working. And so your mom wasn't being billed for the actual usage that was occurring each month for a period of time. And when the city came in and replaced that electronic transmission device called an ERT, they did a catch up.
Mm-hmm. That basically showed that she was underpaying, basically,
They were under billing.
underbilling.
They were under, not that she wasn't paying her bill, but they were.
She was paying the bill that came to her, but the bill didn't include the water usage. It only included some of the ongoing charges that go with a property every month. Does that make some sense to you?
I understand. I didn't know that was the case, because I know my mother always complained that her bill was too high.
And she was probably paying what she got in the bill, not knowing that the bill itself was not complete because the water usage charges were not making it into the record. And then once they got the information about that, then Water Revenue came out, made the adjustments on the meter so that it was taking all of the charges that were due and owing.
Okay, so even though it wasn't her doing, and
Right,
she wasn't
well,
aware, that she still would be liable for it.
she'd be liable for the basic amount because she had or used the water.
Did your mom live alone?
Well, no, but now she hasn't lived in the property since November of 2021. She actually got dementia. She's staying with my sister in South Carolina since then.
And does the property have occupants?
Now it does. It was empty until June of 2022. My niece is staying there now.
Okay, does she
It was
live-
empty from November 2021 through June 2022.
That during that period it was vacant.
Yes.
But I don't know what the city's readings look like. We don't have an account history.
Paula, I did send them to you. I'll try to, I mean, they're in that main email I sent you there's a third tab. Have you? And can you confirm, Mr. Hammond, that she lived by herself in that property the entire?
No, a niece was living, my niece was living with her
In the time period before,
for about, how long was Charlie living with you for? About 2 years?
About 2 years.
Yeah, about 2 years.
would that have coincided with the time period where the ERT wasn't registering that period? I'm not sure what the exact dates were, but you weren't getting
Yes.
full meter readings. Is that when the niece would have been there as well?
Yes, that's from 2019 through 21, yes.
Okay. So essentially, there would have been 2 ongoing occupants during that time period.
Yes.
So then the dollar amounts that the city was identifying would probably be appropriate for that time period with 2 regular occupants. Do you have anything else to add
No.
or questions to raise?
Can I
Do
ask
you,
some
Deborah?
questions, please? I would just like to know, they said that it was an estimate for that period of time, that nothing was, it wasn't generating the correct amount. How did they go back? If so, if nothing was being generated with that amount, how did they go back and calculate exactly what that price would have been other than over what she was paying?
Okay.
Ms. Height, can you speak to that? I believe the question that's being asked is how was a reading obtained based to generate a bill from a meter that was not registering? Rather,
what
from
they do is they change out the ERT. The ERT is an encoder, receiver, transmitter. It's a transmitter that allows them to transmit the register, the amount of water usage that registered to the meter for that period of time in which they weren't unable to obtain the reading.
But if the meter wasn't, I mean, if it was registering at that time, then why wasn't it read? Because you're saying now that, so something was keeping a track of the water, but yet, I mean, how does that work?
The device, the ERT that was attached to it previously before they changed it was unable to register the amount. But when they put when they put the new ERT on, it's able to obtain the amount of usage that's registered.
So it can go back into the past
It can
and tell you.
obtain, yes, it can obtain the amount, it was able to transmit the amount of water usage that went through the meter, yes.
And purely for clarification purposes, what Ms. Heike is saying is that there is a transmitter and then the actual meter. The actual meter is actually there. You can see a spinning wheel, the numbers spin. And when it's installed, the number is read. And when they came back, the number off the physical meter is read, even though the sort of transmitter may have not been transmitting, the actual physical water meter was still counting forward.
So they could go in and look at what had transpired, even though it wasn't being transmitted from that meter to the register that the city had out there to pick up the information. Is that correct?
Yes.
It's like,
And how long did this go on without y'all knowing that it was being not recorded correctly?
For 38 months, I believe.
So for 38 months, she was paying the bill, and in 38 months, no one, I mean, recognized that something was wrong. I mean, because she was paying the bill the whole while, believing that this was what her bill was. And how is it that 38 months, I mean, that's like
3 years and 2 months.
It's 3 years, a little over 3 years.
Yeah, over 3 years of time. I mean, it doesn't even sound logical. I mean, why is it that it took all 3 years or so of her paying monthly and thinking that this is her bill, that y'all didn't, something didn't come up? What made y'all come out then? When would somebody happen to finally pay attention, or what? I mean, what happened?
Can the city comment on that?
I don't have any, a reason for that. I'm trying to see now if there is anything else.
I guess I'll just add on behalf of the city that at some point, the bill does make some notation, I believe, that either there's an estimate or no usage, but you would have to really read the bill to see that the city is trying to notify you.
This, and we have a call that in July of 2015 that they were referred to the meter shop. They were told to contact the meter shop July 2015.
Who was told to do that?
The customer was, there's a call in which it says that they were referred to the meter shop. This was July 21st, 2015.
Who referred her? I mean, because my mother,
She would
I
have
mean,
someone contact the meter shop and someone contact Water Revenue and they told them to contact the meter shop. There's a call here. I can share the call to show you.
And so no
That's
one,
well before- But that's well before the period in question.
Yeah, I have that.
Up to 4 years.
Let me see.
Ms. Gonzalez, is there anything else you want to put on the record?
Yes, if I may run through my direct with Ms.
Please do.
Pike and ask a few questions of the petitioner. I'll start with the questions of the petitioner, though I think we covered a number of them. Did you have water service from 2015 to 2019 at the property?
yes,
And did anyone notice that the bills went from $70, $80 a month to significantly lower to $27, $28 a month?
did you notice that?
What?
That your bill had dropped to $28?
No, it never dropped that slow.
That her bill was never that low, so do you have any, like, bills to show that it was that amount?
Yes. However, I would, but I have no further questions for the petitioner. I will turn to Ms. Hike, and then if I may have after the petitioner is done asking any questions of Ms. Hike that they'd like, a brief, very brief closing.
Well, can you show her a bill or show her the
Sure.
Bill came to me.
something that just?
if you could go back, does your record go back that far?
Well, there's an account statement that we have that shows bills of 27, whatever it is, 2769 and payments being made in 19.
Okay, I don't have that in front of me, but if you have that, and
we have
the
to
city
track
could show that,
So here we are in the period during which the meter was not reading. I'm sorry, the share is not on. My apologies. So here we are in the middle of the period. Bills were $27.87.
We're here.
and that's
And
the
what's-
whole bill.
And that is the entirety of the bill. And then bills moved were
Back
up
years
by
ago.
about $1 to $28.73.
No.
Can you show anything that would be either before or just after the adjustments were made? That
Yes.
shows the relationship?
So prior to the loss of readings, bills were in the neighborhood of
Okay.
$100. Then
And when
they
did
dropped
it, okay, there's the time when it switches.
yes,
And that would have been January of 16.
correct.
And from then forward, it's that much lower number.
Yes, so the bills were dropped by about, I would say 300%.
About almost $100 on some of them.
Yes, that's correct. So they were literally a quarter of what they were.
$28, Ma.
I can see how after you have several months of that, you would start to think that that lower number was indeed the appropriate one, but there should have been something that registered when it dropped.
I know that's what they're saying.
If I may, I can also pull up a bill from that period of time, I believe. So, sorry, I scrolled too far.
Yeah, I'm going in there and pay them, well, I'm going there and pay a bill.
Because at a certain point, maybe that's because she was living alone during those years. That if a bill dropped, that she would agree, do think that, and then for it to be continually going on for years at the same amount. You know, I'm just
Right.
speaking for what I'm thinking here.
I'm unable to pull a bill from that period of time.
Because
But
it's saying standard
those-
format.
Each water bill indicates whether or not water has been used and how much water has been used. And bills that were issued for that amount would have noted on them that it was usage and stormwater, or service and stormwater, and there would not be a line of usage like all of the previous bills in the past.
Could you show that?
I am unable to pull bills from the years from 2016.
But you just showed, you showing the payment that was paid and paid. I mean, so you have that right there. So why can't you show that?
Mayor,
Well,
I'm
she
telling
has
you,
the summary.
I'm unable to pull up the physical bill that she received. That's what I'm saying.
A recent bill just to show the lines.
Yes,
So
I will
there's-
look for a recent bill just to show.
Just to
the
show that
lines.
there's stormwater, there's service charge, there's usage.
Is this visible to everyone?
Yeah.
So
No,
there would be,
there is no bill. This is
Oh,
not.
there's
the-
no bill.
oh, okay, sorry.
So
Is that?
There, there is a bill and it shows the components,
Mhm.
service charge, stormwater, and any payment penalties, things like that. But the water bill is separate and apart from that, the usage charge. And,
There's-
and in that time period that we were looking at before, there was no usage charge, so the totals would have been considerably lower.
That is correct.
Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, anything else to put on the record?
Just the technical information, everything reiterated through my witness, if at all possible, very
Is that-
quickly.
Are charges on there too, like interest charges on that? Because, I mean, her amount, or did you take that off? Because now her bill is 2,206, and I also seen it says a senior citizen discount, and you have 0 there. She's 82 years old.
She don't qualify for it.
Oh, she don't, okay, I was just wondering, I'm sorry.
Yes, they have make it.
Okay, I got you. But is any interest charges on these amounts, on this amount here?
Penalty charges, which we can
We
adjust.
we can deal with that or at least address that in some way.
But there is no interest on these water cases.
I didn't hear you.
No, it wasn't interest, just penalty. It was like $280 in penalties.
Yes. All right, Ms. Gonzalez, you want to close?
Yes, I'm just going to run through the city's direct of Ms. Hike. Ms. Hike, have you had an opportunity to review this water customer's account?
Yes,
And who's the owner of the property?
Miss Isabella Hammond,
And what type of property is this?
it's a residential property.
How do you know?
The deed indicates Miss Hammond as the owner. They list her as the owner.
What charges appeared on the customer's bill for the period in question?
Service and stormwater.
And did technicians go out to the property around this time?
Yes,
When?
February 9th, 2019.
And why did they go out?
0 usage.
What did they find, if anything?
There was a non-registering ERP.
And what was the result?
They changed it.
They changed the ERT. Were they able to get a reading from the meter when they changed the ERT?
Yes,
After the ERT was changed, was any adjustment made to the account?
yes.
Why?
The account was billed based on the actual reading that they were able to get when they replaced the ERT at the property.
How many months does that adjustment of actual usage cover rather?
38 months,
And approximately how much per month does that work out to be?
8.78 CCFs per month.
Is that in line, does that average in line with the other actual readings on the account before and after the period of 0 usage?
Yes,
Did the petitioner reach out to the Water Revenue Bureau during the period in question regarding their bill?
no.
I have no further questions for Ms. Hike.
Do we step-
Anything else that the petitioner needs? Oh, do you have something else? You were
Oh,
opening
no,
your mouth
no,
like
no.
you wanted
No,
to add
sorry,
something. Does the petitioner have anything to add? Otherwise, the board's going to step back to consider a decision.
I was just wanted to say something. I don't know if I caught this right, but she was saying that the percentage of when they went back with the new urn, that it brought up a rate. And did she say that it was based on the previous, they made that adjustment based on previous usage?
No, she
That's what I-
compared it to previous usage, but I'll let Ms. Gonzalez indicate what it is. I was going to say it for you, but please do identify the answer for her.
Thank you. What I asked Ms. Hike and what she answered was the reading that was obtained, that was found on the meter, was that average in line with the regular behavior of the account? And Ms. Hike indicated that it was in line with the regular usage of the account.
Before and after this period where there was no usage month by month.
Yes, that is correct. So
Okay.
if those readings had been left in line, they would not have looked out of character at all.
But it was out of
So-
character to not have that in that time period.
Very much
Which is
so.
why you were moving to restore it in the later period.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. What I did want to say is that through most of those years, up until 2000, this is 2021, I think 2020, 19, when my niece moved in with my mother, at that point she was alone. So using that as a basis of what her current use would be. At that point, for many of these years, she was living there single, just herself. So using that equation as a estimate based upon whether before and after that usage during that time when she was alone, it would not have been maybe that much water usage done since she was only a single woman at that time, a single occupant in the house at that time. So what I'm just saying is that I don't know exactly what the bill would have been, but I understand what you're saying, that the bill might have been higher. But I was just wondering, is it could be some kind of adjustment on this figure for her? Because she, as a rate.
Okay, we'll consider that when we step back.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
And thank all of y'all for all your work you do. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We really needed that today, so thank you. All right, we're gonna step back. If everyone can hold tight, we're almost done.
Oh, thanks. Just trying to get it.
They one made it,
I know, but it was,
and they end up turning it off.
I know, but that's not what they're saying here.
Mhm.
They're saying is that it could be like, because your bill was lower, you're thinking it's fine because you've been paying this for 3 years. You're thinking that the bill is low. So. That's enough, huh?
Man, you cool.
Huh? She's always cold.
I mean, you in Alaska.
I know.
I am a last with the cold out there.
It's a lot warmer there than it is here. What is about 70 degrees there?
Well, actually, today it dropped down into the 60s.
Whoa, that's cold. It's about 30 something here.
Don't wait until afterwards. Okay?
Come on, hey, Bruce.
Huh?
Lady, you knew I paid the bill every month.
They already
But
know.
no, they know you paid your bill.
Going up on the
Of
bill.
course, because you was low, you would think it was going up, but actually they was readjusting it.
I know you pay your bills.
You paid it every month. They already know that.
But you know what lady told me? I knew my bills when low, when they had it that low.
Well, no,
I
you
knew it
didn't
wasn't
know.
that low, and every month it would go up high. They around a few months and then they start going up and going up and going up.
That was, they're not talking about that period of time. They're talking about during the period of time, that period of time, a certain amount of period of time.
You know what, Mom? When I went down there, I should have got you to make one of them red velvet cakes.
Well, you won't get no more of those.
Why?
Unless I try to make one for you.
She can help you.
I don't know.
You know, everybody still talk about them red velvet cakes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The sister in our congregation is actually, I was like, she down South Carolina. You gotta go down there to get it now.
Yeah, Sheena got my drink for the red velvet cake.
Jordan might can make you one. Jordan might make you one. Sheena got the recipes.
Mm-hmm.
She know how to cook?
Jordan, she a
She
baker.
make
She
good
bakes.
cake.
She's starting to bake really good.
Mm-hmm. Peach
Nah,
color.
nah, that's okay. That's not yours.
So where are you at? All that ocean behind.
I know where I would like to be at. I would like to be in the island somewhere right about now.
I know that by your picture.
My board members are coming right on back.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for your patience. Thank you, Saliba. Thank you, Stacy. We haven't had a day like this in a long time.
Mhm.
All right, Adriana, let's go.
Okay, I guess we're all back now. The board's reached a decision. It's our decision to abate the penalty and adjust for the period from 12/2/15 to 2/9/19 to 700 CCF per month. That's a reduction in time period and also a bit of a reduction from what the average came out to be before. You'll get a letter from us that spells out our decision. Both sides do have the right to appeal to the Court of Common Pleas within 30 days of the date of that letter. Going to assume for the moment that neither side's going to choose to appeal. And if that proves to be the case, then you would be making arrangements with the Water Revenue Bureau for payment of the balance over a period of time and work out whatever terms and conditions need to be met in order to cover that, excuse me, cover that balance.
Nancy, I concur. This is Paula Weiss.
Okay, and Nancy Cameradiner, I concur, and our other board member was here and heard parts of the piece, but was unable to join us to say that he concurred in the decision. So we have a quorum going forward here. Any other questions or anything else that we need to address?
Could I make one request?
What's that?
Could a letter be mailed to my house so I can make sure I get it? Or does it have to be mailed to the property?
It is.
No,
going
it doesn't have to be mailed to the property, but
No, it doesn't have to be mailed to the property. It's gonna be, but it currently there is. Mr. Hammond, I sent you an email. Can you just email me back your address and I will make sure that that happens on this account? It came from
Okay.
admin review, but my information I believe was on there. And if not, just send another email to admin review and I can change or with your new address, with the address.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Thank you.
very good. Thank you all very much for your time and attention. We appreciate your patience in getting the hearing underway over time. And goodbye to everybody. Have a good night.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a nice day.